What is going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great night tonight. Hope you can hear me well. Give me a little sound check. We do this twice a year. That's right. Only twice a year do we do this. So if you're here, you're a lucky bastard. I don't know what to tell you. We got Cdogg going to be on the show. Boy, he released a banger of a video today, didn't he? Tantor going to be on the show. Kirby is a liar, plain and simple. That's true. That's a fact. Is that a fact? That's a fact. That was awesome. In the back room, I just see Mrs. Cdogg messing with the camera, and I was like, oh, we're getting a surprise? Is Mrs. Cdogg going to grade the team? That'd be fantastic. Who would we hire if Key's not leaving? Tell me what y'all would think of Penn State if they were dumb enough to fire Franklin, pay him out $50 million, and bring Brent Key in. What would that say about Penn State? It's hard to think any worse of them than you already do, but, I mean, hey, that might do it. Y'all need to give a shout out when Cdogg comes on too. I mean, I still have it in my head. You're a dirty freaking program. I hate you so much. We're gonna beat your ass. Cdogg, I want you to be thinking, where do you think we ranked this team last year? What do you think our final grade for Georgia Tech? We ranked them after the bowl game, so that should give you a hint we were none too high on our team at the time. I'm playing this live right now. That's how good I am. Yeah, I'll address that tonight. Yeah, I was right, and I was both right and wrong with that video about 6A the fan. I don't know where they asked about it again. I was wrong in that I didn't think Penn State was dumb enough to fire Franklin for a 2-game stretch. I'm not wrong that Key's not going to end up there. I was still waiting on one other person here. We'll keep rolling here. And it's not Cdogg. By some miracle, we're not waiting on Cdogg. What planet is this? We must have warped into another dimension. Is this interstellar? Is Cdogg looking through the Tesseract at himself? Who knows? Don't let me do it. Don't let me be on time. The Duke game has you scared, huh? Don't ever admit you're scared. Screw Duke. We're underdogs. It's right where we want to be. Minute that line came out minus beside Duke, I ain't worried about it no more. All right, we'll bring on Cdogg here while we're waiting on Tantor. We can go to this screen right here. What's going on, buddy?
Hi, man.
Hey, you made a little video today, I see.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the content?
It's one of the greatest videos you've ever made, Cdogg.
You think so?
Yeah, I was telling Cdogg before the show that was like a Bill Burr Philly rant. We got Tantor in here. Let's bring him on. Switch screens here. Tantor, what's going on, buddy?
Trying to make sure that my new equipment actually works. Hey, it does. What do you know?
Did you invest in some new equipment?
Yeah, I blew up my last laptop during the summer and had to buy new stuff.
Yeah, man, you got to stay away from those websites. They'll eat your computer up, won't they?
That's bad news too, and they take your credit card information also.
Yeah, you get all these $14.99 charges from places, and then your wife's like, "Hey, what is this from $14.99 from Fantasy World? What's that about?"
Singapore.
Yeah.
News.
Well, Tantor probably didn't see the video. Cdogg went in. He went in on the Georgia fans earlier today. Called him about everything you could call a person, and I'm here for it. So.
I hadn't done a video. I hadn't done a video on Georgia in quite a while. They get a little too comfortable, with everybody coddling them. So somebody's got to let them know what's up every now and then.
Talking about Josh Pate.
Yeah.
Let me put the
Josh
sunglasses
Pate and
on.
else.
Oh, here we go. We got a new subscriber here. What is it? Gray Breezy, something like that. It's covered up on my screen here. But let's get into this here. I'm going to switch over. Here's what we're going to be doing, guys. First, I'll show you what our grades were last year. I took a screenshot of that. We graded this team a 73 overall. So we graded the staff an 88. We graded the offense an 80. And the defense is 67. And I want to say that's only because I put my finger on the scale on some of Tantor's grades, or it would have been like a 40-something. I'll also show you, this is a weighted average. Now, I see there's a Georgia fan in the chat. Don't worry about what a weighted average is. That's way above your pay grade, sir. You have to multiply decimals, fractions, and whatnot. But I did it a little different.
Well, if there's a Georgia fan in here, there's also no officials, so there's not going to be any cheating.
That's right. Let's all give, guys, let me switch over here. Can we all give them a round of applause here? I know y'all can't see me. Cdogg knows what to do. All right.
Oh, you want to go with the T?
Yeah.
We'll go with the T? Yeah.
Let's clap for the Georgia fans. Just clapping.
Yeah, the Georgia applause.
Yeah. But here's how awesome. I weighted it on offense, because we all know that the quarterback, he's more than equal weight of your offense. So we're weighting the quarterback at 40% of our offensive score. We've got the offensive line at 30%, tight ends at 10%, wide receivers at 20%. We could probably disagree on those numbers, but that's what we're going to go with tonight. I got lazy with the defense. I am, however, weighting the defensive line as 50% of our defense, because I do think it's that important. Every play runs to the defensive front. Every play can be stopped by the defensive front. And then we have linebackers at 25%, defensive backs at 25%. For the team, we're going to say the offense is going to be 25% of the score. Defense is 25%. Special teams is 10%. The staff, which is going to be our OC, head coach, and DC, is 25%. And the AD and president going to be 15% of the score. So that's what we've got. We got a lot to get through. Before we dive into that, a lot's gone on in college football I want to address beforehand. I don't know if it's just an epidemic going around, but people are loving firing coaches right now. I mean, hell, we've had Arkansas fired Pittman, promoted Petrino. Gundy's been fired by, it's not Oregon State, it's Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
I think, is Oregon State firing their coach too?
I don't know of anybody that would take that job. They're out.
I haven't heard anything about that.
All right. Well, it wouldn't be a WreckTalk stream if I didn't confuse those two teams. One of them needs to pick the color purple instead of orange. Penn State shocked the fool out of me and ponied up $50 million to get rid of Franklin. Now, I did a video on the channel about how it's stupid to say that Key's going to end up at Penn State. What do y'all think? I guess we'll start with Cdogg. What do you think about all this and some buzz about Key possibly leaving and just the carousel in general?
Yeah, I was shocked as everybody else. I mean, you gotta think that a $50 million buyout or whatever it is not, is going to be enough to deter, or at least buy him a little. He was in the playoffs last year.
The past 2 years.
Past 2 years, yeah. Top 4 teams. Like, I don't know, man. They think they can do better. It's a Mark Richt situation, so it's like
very similar.
You know what I mean? Like, they think they can do better. They better have somebody in mind, because firing somebody for $50 million and not having somebody in mind is stupid. And what would be even stupider is if they try to hire Brent Key. I think that would be a terrible hire for him. I love Brent Key, but his skill set is different from what Penn State needs right now. Penn State needs somebody who can elevate them to past the great football team level up to elite. And Key he's taken us out of the gutter and made us into a good or a great football team. But he hasn't shown that he can be elite, at least not yet. He just hasn't had enough time. So
Yep.
it would be really, it's really weird to hear his name for the jobs. I don't think it's the right fit, or at least it's not right.
Well, he hasn't demonstrated he's better than Franklin. To
exactly. Not yet. I mean, he could want very well wind up being, but then you're paying $50 million. That's not even counting. That's just James Franklin alone. Then you got his entire staff. Then you got to buy out Key out of his contract here and the entire staff. So it's like you're for a gamble, basically, that of what you think Key can achieve, but he hasn't demonstrated yet. I think rumors for him for the Penn State job is absolutely ridiculous. It makes way more sense for Florida to be talking about it, because Florida sucks. And,
yes.
Brent Key has shown that he can pull a team out of the dumpster, but he hasn't shown that he can compete at the, highest level yet.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He hasn't beaten an SEC team yet.
Yeah.
Well, Tantor, what do you think about this? I mean, Key is kind of a trendy name right now, just because Tech's undefeated and he's done fairly well at Tech. What do you think about all this?
Just the latest flavor. I don't think he meets qualifications for Penn State. From my recollection, you need to be a pedophile to coach at Penn State.
Damn. We're coming in hot today. We got the Cdogg video.
Is it too soon for the pedophile jokes for Penn State?
No, they did look the other way for 2 decades.
You have to be senile, and you have to have a bunch of pediatric rapists on the staff. We all know it. It's disgusting. It's a disgusting program, and that their cover up, they really ought to have lost the football program for that. I mean, you got to have the line drawn somewhere, and having sex with elementary school age little boys in the locker room is, I think you have to have a line drawn there.
Well, that's literally the worst crime you could ever commit.
There's
not anything worse than that. I would think.
If there is, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Tantor Unleashed.
Yeah, we're gonna get
free.
That's Penn State. All right, and that's what they defend. That's what they represent. That doesn't happen at Georgia. That doesn't even happen in Athens. So
it doesn't. And we talked about this on College Football Weekly a while ago. Like, in all seriousness, like that's something that's never going to wash off. There's nothing worse you can ever be even accused of. Probably going to get the second strike on the channel tonight. That's okay. That's just what we're going to do. We get 3 for a reason, right? I mean, it's like timeouts. Why not, you know, if you're not using your strikes, what's the point of even having them in your pocket to begin with? Yeah, you can't take your strikes with you to the next 90-day period. So, yeah, I think it's crazy. I think you're right as far as he hasn't demonstrated enough yet. You're right. He doesn't have an SEC win. Look, he beat Clemson this year, but is that all that impressive this year? It is for Tech fans.
It is.
Is it for the greater college football world if you're looking to hire a coach? No one would be thrilled to beat Clemson.
Penn State. They just fired a guy for losing to Northwestern. Okay. Who would be a Northwestern in the ACC that Georgia Tech recently has lost to?
A Northwestern in the ACC.
Yeah, if you had to take a team that just really stinks in the ACC, that just kicked our ass in the last 2 years.
You name it. I mean, we've lost to bad teams.
Exactly. So if you want a guy that's going to wipe out everybody, it's not Brand Key.
Yeah. And look, I mean, they're not going to have any patience with who they hire either. I mean, they might have to, depending on the contract they give them. I mean, this is the other thing. People just assume infinite money exists. Now, even Florida State fans are like coming around to reality that Mike Norvell doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he's a dog shit coach. They're finally coming. They want Mike Norvell fired. His buyout is larger than Franklin's buyout is, like 60-something million. And I don't know how the money flows through there, but they just spent a considerable amount of it suing their own conference and ESPN. So I don't know.
What's our buyout here? I mean, if the Georgia fans want to take us off the air, well, what's our buyout?
For
50 million for us?
For the channel?
Yeah, sure. 50 million, 75 million.
I thank you for giving me a lot of credit. Yeah, we'll go with that.
75 million. All right. Georgia fans come up with $75 million and shut us down. Yeah. We'll take the buyout and walk.
Yeah. And then we'll use it and go sue Georgia or something with it. Who knows?
Well, let's just sue the ACC. What the hell?
Yeah, we want to sue somebody. So anyways, let's well, the last thing we need to talk about, because I haven't heard Tantor's take on this. This is everywhere, which is hilarious. Hey, I'm clapping. I'm trying to tell you that Auburn is clapping. I'm not trying to call a timeout, which he doubled down on in his Kirby doubled down on his press conference saying, no, I wouldn't. What do you think of this, Tantor?
All right. I don't know if anybody's ever watched SEC Shorts.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, today's or yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
With the whole Star Wars on the referee. That's classic. So, Georgia, they just come up with excuses on this. I've heard 1,000 excuses on the whole deal with the whole Auburn game. And number one, I truly think that since there are billions of dollars involved with these conferences in the national playoff, these conferences are going to defend their conference leaders going into the playoffs. I mean, the SEC has to defend 4 to 5 different teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia's one of them by going in the playoffs. Auburn's not, so they defended them. And they did what they had to do. It doesn't get Auburn off the hook because Auburn collapsed in the second half of that game.
They did. They didn't score.
No, they didn't. And that's on them. So I'm not saying that Georgia wouldn't have won anyway, but Auburn did get screwed the first half. All right. I don't know how video evidence can be completely ignored. I don't know how that's not a timeout call. I don't know how.
Or a delay of game. One of the two must be true.
Right. And then Georgia having no timeouts right before halftime, and we have to review every single stinking freaking play to give them a stop the clock. to get them in the field goal range. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, the SEC, they took care of Georgia. I mean, let's just face it, they took care of them, and that's fine. There's a lot of money involved, and let's be honest, the ACC took care of Tech against Wake Forest.
Yeah, no, they could very well have. Speaking of getting taken care of, do you guys know about King's Ransom? I see people talking about it in the chat. We're undefeated since this thick, luxurious mustache has appeared on the upper lip of a grown-ass man named WreckTalk. Undefeated 6-0. Now, if you want to contribute to the winning streak here, if you want to beat Duke, go to King's Ransom USA today and USA.com today. Get you some King's Ransom. I like the Mountain beard oil. I put some on before the show, and I'm pretty sure my penis is bigger since I've been using it too. That's not scientifically confirmed, but I do think it is WreckTalk confirmed. So with that being said, and I don't know a better ad read than that. I mean, that's S tier. Let's get into ranking some of these position groups. So I'm going to switch screens here. We're going to talk about offensive line, wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks. We'll give the offense a grade, defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs. We'll give the defense a grade, the special teams a grade. We'll grade Gideon in his first year. Faulkner, what is he now, in his second full year? Third full year? I don't recall. Third full year. Key, we'll give the staff a grade, and we'll rate the AD and president. I don't think we've talked about Cabrera on here. Let's talk about the offensive line. We'll start with Cdogg. 0 to 100. What are we grading the offensive line here?
Offensive line has been a little bit.
Oh, I don't have running backs on here. I'm an idiot. Hold on. I can fix that. I can fix that. Go ahead, though.
Offensive line has been a little worse this year, I think. They're still all right. I don't know. They're kind of hard for me to grade. I guess you'd have to take like pass defense and then run or pass blocking and run blocking and kind of combine them. I would maybe give the offensive line like a 78.
You'd give them a 78.
I think that they could live up to their potential a little more. Our pass blocking has been pretty good. I definitely think our pass blocking is better than our run blocking so far this year. We did both well against Virginia Tech, and we seem to have really been working on the pass game more really since Temple. Hey, turn that back on. Yeah, I think that,
you got to pay the power bill, buddy. They'll cut that off on you.
Well, the people need to see my face.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, I'd say for that reason, I think the run blocking could be a little bit improved. They looked good this past week, but that was against Virginia Tech. So, but the running backs and the run blocking have been a little disappointing to me this year. Pass blocking I've liked the passing game though. From what I've seen so far, we've been trying to open that up a little more. So I think 78 is a good number.
All right, got 78. Tantor, what do you think? I mean, this man writes down his own stats. This man knows what he's talking about.
I love the offensive line, with the exception of the center. Rutledge is a first-round draft choice in the NFL. That man puts people on their ass, and I do mean on their ass.
Yeah, it does.
And then when we score a touchdown, you can see him all from the side of the team doing a sumo dance. And seeing Rutledge out there shaking it, and as we score, I give it to the man. I mean, he is an A+. I gave him the ultimate compliment. He's better than Mason at guard.
Yeah, that's a big compliment.
He said that he was
that's true. I think Rutledge is an A+. He is a 99.9. He is absolutely a beast. If he's not a first-round draft choice, these guys, talent evaluators in the NFL, don't know what they're doing, because that man picks up guys and he puts them on their ass. They can't get around him and pass. Now, he did have a holding call this week, and it was a true holding call, and he didn't even need to do it, and it just broke my heart. But cost us points. But Rutledge is a beast. McKinney's a beast. I mean, this offensive line, with the exception of the center.
Yeah.
We can't even get the snap back to the quarterback down right. Those things float. I find myself sitting there staring at how the center's gripping the ball and how he's snapping it to King. And it's like, somebody needs to teach this guy how to do it. I mean, is King demanding that it floats back to him?
He might,
or doesn't he want it? I mean, it could be a quarterback preference. But most centers grip it with the laces and they spin it back to the quarterback so that when it hits them, it's hitting them like a pass. But not us. We're floating it back there. And that scares the shit out of me, which is why we have bad snaps and everything else. We didn't have one this past week. I give the offensive line a 90, and I deducted 10 points because the center is not up to par. But the guards and the tackles, man, when we run a counter and we pull the offside guard and tackle and have the center blocked down, holy shit, that play's blocked. And a lot of times they look bad on run plays. And let's be honest, our quarterback can't see the holes. He can't hit a hole running it. Him running a run pass option is not good. But if he just happens to luck into the hole, he goes a long way because he's a hell of an athlete and he's tough. But he misses holes. You can sit there and watch him, and it's like, no, the hole is to the left of where you ran, dude. Why are you running into the ass of your guard?
It sounds like WreckTalk with the ladies. Right? If I can make my way in there, I tend to do pretty good. But I have a hell of a time finding it from time to time.
But Rutledge is a beast. He's a guy that we see only once a decade.
Yeah,
and I think that they lay it down. Nobody's beaten him this year. Nobody's defensive line has beat on them or anything. Yeah. They've ran on everybody. If we would pass, we could pass on anybody, and we did this past weekend. But you're 100% right on this. Was Virginia Tech,
yeah,
right? And that's a team that just stinks.
We didn't run on Wake Forest. We ran terribly against them, except for Haynes King was our.
We still put up close to 200 yards on them
rushing.
Yes.
Yeah, like 180 yards or something.
Pull that up because I know Jamal Haynes averaged like 2 yards a carry
because we didn't give it to him.
The 36 yard.
Jamal Haynes was hurt.
He was a liability. He
played against Wake is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The man was hurt. You can't tell me he wasn't hurt against Wake.
He was.
Couldn't hit the outside. He was slow. Couldn't hit the hole. Didn't have the burst. He was just missing.
So Haynes King was our leading rusher again, which I kind of don't.
Not against Virginia Tech. Are you talking about Wake?
I separate that a little bit from the running back. Again, I'm talking about Wake Forest.
Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't give it to Holsey. Holsey, I think, against Wake only had 5 or 6 carries.
Yeah. So it was King again, which was not my. I was talking about the running backs.
If you watch King. He can't hit a hole. He just doesn't see it.
I'll be quick here. I gave him an 86, and I would have given him a 95. You're right about the center exchange. There's no way that's King's preference, especially with the offense we run. You got to get the ball to the quarterback's hand as quick as possible, especially since we run so many quick screens and we run so many RPOs and so many read options. Every millisecond counts. Rutledge is a mean son of a bitch. Rutledge is somebody you don't want to cross on the football field or off the football field. That guy tastes his own blood and gets pissed and plays better. So I was worried about the offensive line coming into the year. Losing 3 of your starting 5 is always a worry, especially when one of them's your center. And we're batting, 666 on that. The center, we've had some injury issues at center, but I think overall we've been good at the offensive line. So I give him an 86, Cdogg a 78, Tantor a 90. That gives us an average of 84, thanks to Cdogg and his unfettered take on the offensive line. So
don't worry. I want to see defense coming, and I'll really nail him on that.
I want to see better. I want to see better run game. It's not there for me yet.
All right, so
dude, we're top 10 in the nation run game. What do you want? If it's not number 1, Cdogg doesn't score it. If it's not number 1, just don't even run the ball if we can't be the first in the nation.
Yeah, you messed up
I
when
mean,
Tantor's like attacking you of the right of
I
him.
guess so. I guess so.
I mean,
Maybe I'm too
dude,
hard.
it's a top 10 rushing attack.
I
Uh,
suppose. Maybe
What
I'm just
do
maybe
you
I'm just a
want?
little sore from the Wake Forest game. That
Dude, the
game
Wake Forest game made me want to puke. The first
that
half
game
was
was a
unwatchable.
travesty.
It was.
All right. Let's move on to wide receivers here. Wide receivers. Cdogg. What you got on the wide receivers?
Receivers, I think they're having a good year. I think that man, I like the receivers. Rutherford in his senior year, he was kind of he was kind of a little bit absent towards the beginning of the year, but he showed out. This past week he's starting to get in there a little more. Isaiah Canyon is absolutely amazing. We got to drop the bag for him for whatever he wants. He's going to be a star. Eric Rivers, as advertised, I really like what we've been doing in the passing game. I really like the it seems like we're focused more on the passing game lately rather than just run. You know what I mean? So receivers, I'd probably give those guys like an 85.
All right. 85. Yeah. Tantor.
All right. I'll just start with my grade and then I'll tell you. I give him a 90. All right.
Boom.
I've deducted 1 point for every drop that I've seen this season.
Nice.
All right. If somebody tells me a tougher player on the team outside of Haynes King than Malik Rutherford, I don't know who is. Did you see the 2-point conversion?
Yes.
He had 3 guys hanging on him. They were dragging him back, and he still dives across the line. That was this week. Malik, what does he weigh? 175 maybe? Maybe?
If that. Yeah.
Lead blocker on a lot of screens. Down the field blocking for the running game. Sticking his head in there. There's no tougher guy. He gets nailed. I mean, he's giving it his all. He doesn't go down. He doesn't slide. He doesn't run out of bounds. And he takes these big hits. Yeah, he's laying on the ground, bent like a pretzel. They carry him off, comes back in 3 plays. He's ready to go. Canyon, I said it earlier. I say it in most of my videos. That dude is good.
Yeah, yes.
And we're talking about the Mount Rushmore wide receivers at Tech. The kid has that kind of talent. I mean, we're talking about Calvin Johnson, baby. Canyon can be there if we would just throw him the damn ball.
Yep.
And that's what I think of him. It's so loaded. The thing is, though, we've got 6 guys that could start for UGA and improve their team. And that's for all the UGA people listening right now. We've got 6 wide receivers that's better than your best.
There you go. I like it. I'm going to go with Cdogg on this. I'm going to give him an 85. I do think as of late, they've been really good at the perimeter of blocking game. Because here's the thing with Georgia Tech's offense. Our ability for wide receivers to block on the perimeter is about as important as their ability to catch the football just by virtue of how we run offense. I think we've been poor at that at times. We were really good at it against Virginia Tech. We struggled against Wake. We were decent against Colorado. But it's so hard to rate the wide receivers for Georgia Tech because up until Virginia Tech, we really did not favor throwing the ball. When people said we were a one-dimensional offense, we have been a very one-dimensional offense. When all else fails and we don't know what to do, we just run Haynes King into the ground where every limb is red. Now we've seen what happens when we run a little more balanced attack like we did against Virginia Tech. Now, part of that probably had to do with they're not a very good team, and we were able to do that. But for us, I think, not this isn't a Duke preview, for us to really push Duke and win that game, you're going to have to, again, it would be nice to have Haynes King be your third leading rusher, and still have 200-plus yards rushing. So I give him an 85. That brings our grade to an 87 for the wide receivers, which is probably pretty fair given, how much we've passed. Now, the sore subject for all Georgia Tech fans, the tight end group. Another one that's very hard to grade up to this point. We'll start with Tantor and run back up. Tantor, what do you grade the tight ends this year?
I have to give them an incomplete.
All right, you refuse to grade them.
They didn't exist through the first 5 weeks. We didn't even play the tight end. Did one even get on the field? It seems like Buster found them this week against Virginia Tech and said, "Hey, we've got 11 players out there on offense, guys. Damn, who knew? When do we start playing with 11? Well, let's see. Can they actually catch a ball? Oh, yeah, they can. It's in the rules. Let's use them."
Yeah.
And they were great. Absolutely great. All right, Seether. Number 80. You know me and names. I don't know them. I'll just use the numbers. 80.
Cedar, yeah.
Busted down the seam, wide ass open. Haynes King underthrew him by about 35 yards. Put on the brakes, ran back, made the catch, and had a 35-yard reception. All right, should have been a touchdown. But he had that ability, instead of just keep on running and say, "Oh darn, God unthrew me." No, he turned around and went back and got the ball. You know, you had Harpering making his daddy proud, going across the middle, catching with his hands, and then running after the catch like a freaking beast. If we use our tight ends, they're going to make a lot of money going forward in the future. That's for sure. And they had a fantastic game against Virginia Tech, but who didn't on offense? Okay. But they haven't been used. All right. If I had to give them a grade, it's a 75 because of their blocking. Their blocking has been very, very good this year.
Yeah.
But that's all they've been used for, and that's a coaching problem.
Yeah.
It is truly a coaching problem. And I don't think it's fair to say one of those kids, I mean, we're using 4 of them like crazy, to say any of those 4 kids have done poorly this year when the coach has completely ignored them for 5 games.
This is true. All right, so a Cdogg for a 75 for Tantor. Cdogg, what do you got for these tight ends?
Yeah, I feel kind of like the same way I did with the receivers. Like towards the beginning here, like what Tantor was saying, we didn't really focus on the passing game in general. We were super run heavy against Colorado. You know, run with Haynes King. Rely on Haynes King, but it seems like since the Temple game, we've been trying to work on the pass game a lot more, and that is working in the tight ends too. So we've been seeing them to get a little work, but man, I love the tight ends room. I am excited. Harpering is awesome. He was a great recruit. You know, I was excited to get him. The group has been built from nothing, and I think they're awesome, and that, you know, they're great blocking too. And then, you know, you sneaky catch sometimes you lull them into a false sense of security. All of a sudden, boom, we forget the tight ends can catch, but so does the other team too. And then every now and then we'll freaking hit them with the surprise attack, and it'll be, you know, a huge gain or a sneaky third down or whatever the case. I love that shit. But yes, it would be better if we, you know, threw to them more too. But man, I think the tight ends are awesome. I'm a little higher on the tight ends. We should throw to them more, but that's no fault to theirs. I'm gonna give them.
You cut out on us, man.
I did.
What? Just on your grade. What's your grade?
I think I gotta go with I don't know if I can go. I'm gonna go 89. I don't know if I can go to A just quite yet.
89. Okay.
Yeah, 89. I love the tight end room, and yes, Huh? Hey, the peanut gallery doesn't need to be freaking commenting on my grades.
Even your wife said that was suspect.
The tight ends kick ass. What are you talking about?
All right. Well, Cdogg argues with his wife about his dumbass rating of the tight ends. I'm gonna just straight up. I'll give him a 77. I like what I saw out of the Virginia Tech game. They were kind of featured in the passing game against in the Virginia Tech game. Should have had a touchdown to Betham. Now, we didn't review it when it was a 4th and 3. We had a rollout with King. He hit Betham. Looked like he scored to me. I mean, it's really neither here nor there. But we had some big throws to tight end. I think Luke Harpering is utterly outstanding. I think he's going to be a really good player for Georgia Tech going down the road. I do worry about depth in the future because aside from Harpering, I'm thinking who we have that's young in the tight end room. Cedars is tight end. I know Betham's been there a while, but I'll give him a flat 77. That gives us an 80 for the tight ends, and we'll move on to the group that I forgot to add that I just added, the running backs. Let's go back to Cdogg. He needs a W here. Give us a good take on the.
You guys are bugging on the tight ends. I don't know why you're so harsh on them for it. I think they kick ass. Yeah, you're bugging. I think they kick ass. But
no cap? You think that no cap, sir?
Yeah. Y'all are bugging. Anyway, running backs I'm going to be a little harsher on just because I don't think I might go. Look, you guys, okay, had a good game against Colorado. Gardner Webb doesn't impress me much. Temple doesn't impress me much, right? I mean, the Temple game maybe weigh a little more than the Gardner Webb, but ran like with a complete no-show against Wake Forest. And look, this is supposed to be our identity. We're goddamn Georgia Tech. We're supposed to be able to run the ball. So yeah, I'm going to grade the running backs a little bit harsher. They're still not bad. It's just that I don't know. We ran good against Virginia Tech. They're a horrible team. But I don't know. I think the running backs could get like. I think for right now, I think there's an 80. I think there's a lot more room for the running backs to improve.
All right, 80 for Cdogg. So tight ends are great. Running backs are not that great. Tantor.
All right. It's really tough for me to be nailing a guy that's been playing hurt or injured because he pulled up against Wake in warm-ups, and he's clearly not 100%. One is not 100%. He's injured. That's a coaching issue to put that kid out there on the field. If you're a running back and you can't hit the corner like we know he can, he got caught from behind against Virginia Tech.
He did.
So the kid's tough. He's out there pulling the rope. That's fine with his teammates. That's great. He's got guts. But the coaches have to step up and say, hey, we've got 4 other kids that can do what you do better than you at 80 or 75%. So, take a couple weeks off to get to be 100%, and we'll put you back in. So that's tough, and that's what I have to knock them down with. 0 is the deal.
Yes.
0 is fantastic. He should be starting, period. And he should be touching the ball 15 times a game. All right? Undeal. And against Virginia Tech, now everybody looked good against Virginia Tech, but 22, finally being well and out there, that kid hit a hole that wasn't 9 inches.
Familiar with that measurement, yeah.
It's not me. I'm not going to lie. But
yeah, Trelane Maddox is who he's talking about.
Yeah, 22. And that kid can freaking play. And now he was only in there for about 8 or 9 snaps, but he made something happen on every snap. And he made some cuts. He made some moves. He runs hard. He hits the hole hard. He sees it and hits it, and he can make cuts in it. That kid, if he can stay healthy, there's something to him.
He's huge too. He's like 6'2", 210, something like that.
Yeah, I see him as a Canyon Junior as far as talent goes.
Wow. Okay.
He pops. He pops. So you can watch a kid play and you turn your head and go, holy shit, that guy's got something. He's got something. And he has something. I look at him like the first time I saw Jahmyr Gibbs play.
Wow. It's a little crazy to me, but okay.
That's crazy, dude.
I'm being completely honest. The first time I saw Jahmyr Gibbs play and he was getting the ball over JP Mason, who's kicking ass in the NFL, and Gibbs got the ball, I was like, holy fuck. I mean, God, that guy's got it.
Yeah. That's crazy. Jameer Gibbs is like the best player to come through here since goddamn
Calvin Johnson.
Baby.
Bebe
Yeah.
Thomas, probably. Bebe
yeah.
Thomas was more recent, but
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying that Maddox has that type of ability.
Okay. What's your rating for the running backs?
I give him an 80.
Oh, man.
Your starter is injured, and us insistent on him getting 50% of the snaps just brings down the whole group.
Can I rate the Falcons now an F? They're a dog shit franchise that I'll never give a crap about after that Super Bowl.
My wife came and put the Falcons game on. What is she watching those bums for? We would beat the Falcons.
Probably, yeah. I don't care if we're up 28-3.
I like Penix, man. I love Penix. I know you hate left-handed quarterbacks, but
yeah, you want to tell people your dexterity, Tantor? You've tried to hide.
I am left-handed.
Oh no!
So I have to absolutely root for every left-handed quarterback.
Oh no!
Every left-handed pitcher, I'm there.
Dang.
There's only one acceptable quarterback to root for that's ever been left-handed, and that's Michael Vick.
Oh, Mike Vick. All right.
Mike Vick. There's some other one. Was it Unitas or something? One of those old guys, Theismann, who was left-handed.
No, Theismann was right-handed. Unitas was right-handed. Steve Young is probably the best lefty that's been. He's won Super Bowls. So
we had to go back to before we landed on the moon to figure out a left-handed quarterback was worth the crap. Anyways, I'm going to give the running backs an 88. I'm not just saying that because I had all these written out beforehand. Look. You can't be resigned to self-pity over injuries at running back. Every team's going to have injuries at running back every year. That's the nature of the beast. If Jamal Haynes isn't 100%, he doesn't need to be getting the ball as much. I agree with that. I agree that that's a coaching issue. However, and I don't know, people might run me off the internet, this is the deepest running back room Georgia Tech's ever had, probably. Just as far as pure depth. You've got Jamal Haynes, you've got Malachi Hosley that's going to be playing on Sundays. Both those guys probably be playing on Sundays.
They should.
Malachi Hosley is the acceleration on him. His ability to get to the sixth gear is something else. Then you've got Trelane Maddox, who showed out well. Also saw Shane Marshall in at special teams. Now, there wasn't a lot to see there, but he's a kid with talent. You got J.P. Powell. That's like 3-4 stars right there in just your running back room. So I don't remember the last time we had that kind of depth at running back.
It's because it hasn't happened.
Yeah. Gibbs and Mason were two players. We don't have two players that are, we don't have a player as good as Gibbs, but what I'm saying as far as total depth, like Jamal Haynes and Malachi Hosley as your 1 and 2 is nasty. There's a lot of teams in the country that would like to have those two guys as their 1 and 2 in whatever order. So that'll bring our running back grade to 82. And I'll start us off with quarterbacks. All right, we're going to talk about quarterbacks. I give them a 90. And I don't think that people are going to agree with me on that. But it's hard to grade Haynes King as a quarterback. Because a large part of his game is not quarterback play. It's running back play. It just is what it is. He does have trouble finding the hole. That's something I can relate to. But the dude is just, when you need to put the team on his shoulders and we all start downing him and some dumbass behind me starts yelling for Philo, the dude drops his third leg on people's faces and wins football games. There's a lot of teams that would like to have that in a player. There's so much about Haynes King that's just intangible that wins us football games. I was surprised at how well he threw the ball against Virginia Tech. I haven't seen Haynes King throw the ball that well. And look, he underthrew some guys, but I'm saying as far as staying in the pocket, not just looking off to run when his first read isn't there, like he went through some progressions. You pair that up with Aaron Philo behind him, who's going to be a hell of a player. You've got Graham Knowles that's looked good, and a guy in, Grady Adamson that came from Oklahoma. Like, you got some guys in your quarterback room that are pretty good. You got two guys that can play whenever you need them to play. Another thing a lot of teams would like to have. I'm giving them a 90. Cdogg, what do you think?
So what exactly is the criteria for grading this? Because
it's whatever you want it to be.
Is it like objective, like like objectively, because there, or is it like my feelings? Because there's not another quarterback I'd rather have on my team
You grade it however
than
you
Haynes
want.
King.
It's your grade.
There's not a quarterback that I'd rather have on my team than Haynes King. Haynes King is him, and look, I mean it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I love Haynes King. He's great. He's the perfect. He's a great personality, great quarterback." Look, not a lot of people mean it. Not once in my entire freaking in this entire season, or really since he's got here, have I ever thought he should be hurt, with the exception of the one time that he was hurt. That shit, he should be benched. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With the exception of the one time where he was hurt. Outside, if he's hurt, he's playing like shit, we should bench him until he's healthy again, which we did. Haynes King is like, god dang, best quarterback I've seen. Like, I was a kid back in the day. Like, I don't remember, Hamilton or whatever. I remember JT, but like,
JT
man,
wasn't a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, Haynes King might be surpassing. He might. I think he's my favorite. I'm gonna let him finish the senior year, but he's like my favorite Georgia Tech quarterback. He's freaking awesome. He's got it. I don't care. I'm just a freaking Haynes King lover. I bought his children's book for my kid, my unborn kid that's about to be born. He's clutch. He will just put the team on his back. He's showing that he can throw in the past few weeks. He can obviously run. That's his like bread and butter. He makes great reads when it's the option plays. He has some great pulls, and no, he might not hit a gap, but it's the outside. It's the kind of outside runs that is more his strength. I don't know. He's got it. He's him. He's him. And he's just so clutch on third down. He's gonna freaking convert, and there'll be third down, and it'll be third and short, and you and me and everybody in the stadium and everybody watching the game knows what he's about to do, and there ain't a damn thing that anybody can do to stop him. He's converting.
Except on
Haynes
4th
King
and 1.
So I'm giving Haynes King 100.
You're dropping the triple digit. Man,
100.
That's
I'm giving Haynes King 100.
Which is 40% of our grade. Really quick before we get to Tantor, breaking news. Evidently, James Franklin has been fired. I didn't know that, nor did we discuss that at the beginning of the show.
What?
Gotta be kidding me! Oh no.
People are talking about Joe Hamilton. Look, Haynes King's not better than Joe Hamilton. Like, I love Haynes King.
My God. Hamilton was God.
Joe Hamilton was.
I don't even remember Joe Hamilton.
What I will say is, to me, Haynes King is something between Josh Nesbitt and Justin Thomas as far as just what he does. Like, Josh Nesbitt was like a bodybuilder that played quarterback. That was just a tough son of a gun. Haynes King might be faster than him, but anyways, we'll go to Tantor. What grade do you give the quarterbacks here?
All right, I give him an 80.
You ain't going with an 80?
Yeah.
As Rec and I have talked before, even in the stands, I would have benched Haynes twice this season.
Say it ain't so.
And both times, I'm standing behind Rec screaming, "Philo, we want Philo!"
He was the guy.
That was you?
Shut up, you asshole.
That was you?
You didn't have to out yourself. I mean, geez.
Oh, my God.
But, both times, I would have lost both those games. If I'm coaching Georgia Tech, we're 4-2. I mean, I would have lost them. Both times I'm benching Haynes, and then he comes out and he turns around, he flips me the bird, he says, "Tantor, up yours. Watch this shit." Yep. And he puts the team on his back, and he carries 104 players. He picks them, he puts them on his freaking back like fucking Atlas, and he carries them into the end zone. And he turns around and says, "Fuck you, Tantor. We won."
That happened.
And that actually happened. And that's what he did. All right. And that's how he is.
I was scared when it happened. He said it.
He's the toughest SOB that plays football today in the NFL or college football, because that shoulder is effed. Okay? It's effed. I can't confirm it. I've been told it, but I can't get a second and third source to confirm it. But his shoulder's effed. and he goes out there and he does what he does, and that's win freaking football games. Puts a team on his back and he wins football games. I can blow holes in his game all day long. I don't think he can read defenses. He's got primary receiver, check down, and then run. That's all he can do. And now it's really, I mean, for first 5 games, it was check down, then run. Against Wake Forest in the first half of the worst football game I've ever seen in halftime, he bounced an out to Canyon, 15-yard out, and he bounced it. He couldn't get it there. Now, the second half, somehow somebody replaced his arm with another arm, and he's throwing the ball 50 and 60 yards down the field on a rope.
Cortisone is a wonderful thing.
Some shit happened because that ain't the same kid. But beside the point, it happened. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. These eyes right here, I saw it. It was right there. It happened. It exists. He's just one tough dude. He's a competitor. He's a dog. Whatever you want to call it. He's got it. I compare his game. He reminds me of Jaden Daniels for the Commanders when he played with LSU.
That's high praise.
He just doesn't have the arm. But he can run. He runs like a running back. He's not a sprinter out there. He's not a track guy. He's not Cam Newton, who was a tight end playing quarterback who would just run over guys with some speed. He's got moves. He does it. He can do it in the open field. I really would like to see him run the 40 because I'm really thinking he's probably a 4.4 guy. I'd be shocked if he was slower than that. He's a hell of an athlete. But his arm is shot. He can't. Virginia Tech, he looked great. He put together 4 great quarters. He was throwing the ball. He was hitting receivers. He underthrew a couple of guys. Was really late. Like Canyon, the play Canyon got pass interfered on that wasn't called.
It was underthrown badly.
Yeah, it was horribly underthrown.
Yeah.
Canyon had 15 yards on the guy.
Should have been a touchdown. Yeah.
Should have. But, he threw the ball around and he looked great. And he had an A+ game against Virginia Tech. But there's just quarters and halves that he don't show up. Yep. And I just, it's inexplicable. It's the Wake Forest game's inexplicable. The third quarter against Clemson is inexplicable. Second quarter too. Temple. We had a quarter against Temple that he was MIA. You can't do that if you want to make a run and you want to do it. And I don't know why it is. I mean, I've talked to people. Most of the people just think that he's more on the line. He's not Reggie Ball.
Who me and Cdogg talked about him before the game.
But
or for the show.
No, he's not. I mean, that's the worst thing you can say about a quarterback. He's Reggie Ball. You just say Reggie Ball and everybody goes, ooh.
There are some similarities. Reggie Ball was also a tough son of a gun.
He really.
I mean, I remember him putting his shoulder down again. Was it Ballou or someone who was there? They had like a big 6'2" safety, and he was like running out of bounds and just put that guy on his back. Reggie Ball was tough. The head wasn't necessarily there, but
I was told by a staffer that they had no idea how he got even in school.
Golly. Saying he's retarded? Is that what you're saying?
That's not complimentary on him. But it's I think we're leaning towards the same thing with our guy here. So it's unfortunate, but I think he's a hell of an athlete, tough SOB. He's a leader. He leads that team. And when he wants to, he's the best player in college football. But he's not the best player in college football every game for all 4 quarters. So there you go. I give him an 80.
I think that's fair. I mean,
see, I knew y'all would do some shit like that. That's why I went 100. I got to balance that out some.
Well, you made my score. What did
I say bad about the guy? I mean,
nothing. No, it was all great except for the score.
But how can you explain the first half?
Look, if we're being objective, that's why I asked. If we're being objective, there's a lot wrong with this game, like you said. The shoulder, he's not consistent. The shoulder isn't there. He's impatient with the reads. Like, you know, he'll take off running too quickly, stuff like that. But still, there's not another quarterback that I'd rather have in the country. He's him.
Now, if I'm behind by 6 points with a minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter, I want that dude on my team.
I don't think there's ever been a more clutch drive than the Miami fumble thing where we beat them.
Oh, and then he found what's his face, whose mom got mad at me.
Christian Leary. Yeah, that was insane.
But
I don't think there's ever been a more clutch.
The Clemson no timeout kick a field goal from 50 yards.
That was crazy too.
That was crazy.
And there's so many to list. Like Haynes King is just clutch as hell.
And then there was this NC State game where they threw the touchdown right at the end on that game. Oh wait, that was Philo.
And I didn't even mention Philo, but to have a backup as good as Philo, like we have a top 5 quarterback room in the country.
We've got a great quarterback room.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings our offensive grade to a flat 85, which I bet if you went into NCAA 26, that's about what we're rated.
Yeah.
Also, before we move on, I did want to say, I still have it up here. Jody Sale's brother-in-law is still an asshole. This was on the late night stream. His brother-in-law is, I guess, a Georgia fan. I wanted everyone to know that guy's a total tool
Dude,
and an asshole.
If I ever see Jody Sale's brother, I'm punching him. I don't need a gun. I don't need a knife. As soon as I see him, I'm knocking out his lights.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to hit him right in the neck. You need to respect my authority. All right, let's move on to the defense while we're doing dumbass South Park impressions here, which, I mean, I don't know what you expected, guys, when you clicked on this stream, but this is what we're doing. Let's talk about the defensive line, something I'm sure
you have $75 million to shut this stream down. We'll take the buyout. $75 million.
I mean, I've admitted to doing really awful things for way less than that, so or I would do way awful things, but
hey, $20 is $20, right?
20, yeah, that's tax free. Yeah. Speaking of awful things, let's talk about the defensive line. Let's just start with Tantor. Rip the Band-Aid off and rate this defensive line.
All right, you know, I hate doing this. I really hate doing this.
Come on, man.
Because there's some guys that I like on there. I mean, there's 4 players that I think have talent, but it's just not there. We miss Biggers. We miss 88.
Yes.
He's even better this year than he was last year.
We miss Romello Height.
Yeah. Texas Tech really likes him too, because that's a hell of a team.
Kyle Kennard, dude.
Well, he's in NFL now.
Yeah, he went off to Danby.
All right,
he went off to do great things.
I have to give the defensive line a 50.
Dang.
That's better than I thought you would give him.
Well, it's because I spent Sunday just trying to find a copy of the All 22, and I still can't find a copy of the All 22. Because I really want to see that Harvey play where he gets injured by that pass interference SOB wide receiver from Virginia Tech that ruined his career. But
yeah, he gone.
Yeah, but I get to see the DL all the time, and my God, they're bad. I thought that Vandenberg would be superstar. Well, he benefited a lot last year from lining up besides Biggers, because Biggers was eating the double team, and Vandenberg could take a guy 1v1 and beat him. Well, this year, they've taken our 2 best defensive linemen, Stone and Vandenberg, and they're on separate rotations. So when each one of those guys are in, they're eating the double team.
Yeah.
So they're completely out of the play. I mean, you watch Vandenberg, he's getting tackled, thrown down. I mean, it really is Greco-Roman wrestling him to 2v1, and he's losing. And there's no shame in that. But there's 3 other guys on the D-line that is matched up 1v1, and none of them are winning.
It's not good.
That's a problem. All right. That is a problem. And what's a bigger problem is against the shit team like Virginia Tech, you match 1v1 on a guy and you just watch the guy blocking you go past your face and absolutely whap your linebacker. And you don't even make an attempt on the quarterback. And the guy runs, 45 yards for a touchdown? Dude, all you have to do is hold the block. Don't let the guy hit your backer and your backer makes the tackle.
Yeah.
And it's the concepts suck. It's a complete fail across the board. It's coaching, it's play, and it's individual responsibility and execution. All are F's across the board on the defensive line. There is some hope. You've got those young guys that they got some playing time this week, 88 and 98. They're light in the pants, but there's some hope there. If we don't pay them, somebody else is going to, because they have talent.
I think that's fair. Cdogg?
Yeah, I mean, look, D-line has been something I've complained about for, well, I mean, it's been in shambles ever since we had like 12 guys in that room leave a few years ago or whatever it was. It's never been the same or never recovered from that. But I mean, yeah, it's not in great shape these days. You know, they, like I said, they get stood up. We don't have a lot of depth. The pass rush not great. You know, we make quarterbacks look better than they are. Like, quarterbacks will have great games against us that they don't, you know, normally have, and it's rough, man. A pocket, you know, passer will tear us up because we don't friggin' we don't pass rush very well. It's been something I've complained about forever. We do have some guys like Vandenberg. I mean, yes, he gets double teamed. Like he's a great player. He's one of the best players on the defense. But I've seen him run over two guys at once this year. I think it was in the Temple game. He got double teamed and ran them both over anyway. Which was crazy.
He gets double teamed every snap he's in the game.
Yeah. It's because they know he's the best. It's because they know he's the best. But, you know, I would have liked to have, you know, seen a little more. I think that, you know, in the offseason, we need to, like, focus more on the D line as if we do receivers or whatever other skill position. Like, we need to drop the bag. I really wish we could have kept Romello Height. We could totally have freaking used him this year. Guy named Texas Tech and their oil money. That shit pisses me off.
They're playing Monopoly over there.
I know, dude. I'm glad Hoffler's back. The room it has potential for the future. It's not quite there yet. 50 seems a bit harsh to me, and I've been complaining about the D-line a lot. 50 seems a bit harsh to me. But I can't go too much higher. I'd probably go 60.
Okay.
For the D-line.
Can I do like a Stephen A. Smith here? Now, hold up. Let me tell you something real quick. All right?
Go ahead.
No, I'm not a whole lot higher than you guys. I think our starting rotation is decent. I think they're decent. I think it's necessity that we have Vandenberg and Stone in different rotations. We're doing that because we don't have the depth. What are we going to do? Have them out there for every snap? We just can't do that. So we're, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm sure we're splitting them because we have depth issues, and that's the biggest thing. Like, Stone was hurt for Virginia Tech. Just like with running back, you're going to get banged up on that defensive front, and we do not have the depth to stomach it. Not only do quarterbacks tend to throw for a lot of yards against us because they just have all the time in the world. Look what happened with Drones, who's not like the greatest. He's a good running quarterback. He's not the greatest running quarterback you're ever going to see. He had no problem taking off and picking up yards when he needed to. Virginia Tech's issue offensively in that game was a ton of penalties that were dumb that they committed for no reason, that kept putting them behind the sticks, that made our defense look a little better than they actually were overall against Virginia Tech. But look, with revenue sharing and NIL and everything, our second highest paid player should be a defensive end. We got to go out and get one defensive end that's a freaking stud. It's the easiest position as far as learning curve and transitioning from system to system. Get the guy with the ball. That's obviously it's a little more complicated than that, but you can start there. If a guy's a stud, even if he doesn't know the scheme that well, he can go get the quarterback on the ground. So I don't really understand why we're not doing that. I mean, obviously it's a money thing. I'm going to give him a 65, and that gives us a 58 for the defensive line. Let's go back to Tantor. And this is probably going to be brutal too. We're near the bottom of the country in rush defense right now. Tell me about these linebackers.
All right, which ones you want me to talk about? The starters or the three backups that get a lot of playing time?
You talk about whatever you want.
Because there's an ocean difference between the performance of the backup three linebackers and the two starters. The two starters are actually good. They remind me of, and I hate even making this comparison because it takes us back to Ass Clown, but they remind me of Ace and Thomas.
What was that linebacker you loved we used to play?
Oh, dude, Thomas.
I think he's talking about, what was it, number 7 or number 17?
Mola, I think was
Mola.
his name.
No, God,
God, no. God, no.
Yeah, man. Mola.
Shit. I guess that's PTSD going on now.
Yeah.
I'm going to shake this off, take some drugs, and drink some Jack after this. I memory dumped him.
That was a key player too.
He was.
That was not a Collins player. He was a key player.
Horrible. But all right, so 2 is just plain good.
Lightsley, yep.
Just plain good. He's solid, 3-down linebacker, sideline to sideline. He's coming up really well. He's dropping fairly okay. I've got some issues with us in pass coverage on how we do zone because I just can't figure that shit out. But what I've been impressed with is that Eford has and all right, ma'am that sat in front of me, his name is Eford, not Effort.
Yeah.
Although he does give 100% effort, that's not his name. Okay.
We need to give the what for to all the people that sit around you in that section. They need to learn something.
You've met him.
Yeah, I have.
So, but anyway, yeah, and okay, if we're gonna do that, Brent Key is actually a good coach. You might disagree with him, but he's a good coach. All right, so let's get back to the linebackers.
Yep.
Eford has transformed himself. You watch him; he's transformed his body. He's lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
He's faster. He's quicker. There's a difference between the two. He can now play sideline to sideline. He can now cover tight ends, and he can cover running backs out of the backfield. Now, he can't cover wide receivers on a crossing route, but I don't know many linebackers that can.
Yeah, those are special guys.
He can cover what he should be doing, and he has really transformed his game, and he stepped it up. And he's by far the leading tackler on the team, and he's the best player on the defense. Whoa, wait a second. I just said that. Powley. Sorry, Powley. You're the best player on the defense. Eford's number 2. Close race, but you two guys is what makes the defense.
Yep.
But Eford, he's done something. I didn't think he wasn't going to play pro ball when he finished college. That was going to be the end of his playing career. He's got a chance now. He's got a chance to catch on with somebody. He might make it in the Canadian League. I mean, he might get a paycheck once he graduates from Tech to play football from what he's done. You can tell he's put the work in. So only thing he's done wrong this year, 2 things. Missed a tackle against Wake Forest in overtime that allowed a touchdown. And then I can't figure out when we go into zone defense. And I put it on my video, so I'm sorry, guys, when I repeat this. But every team I've ever been associated with, we've coached our linebackers to line up 5 to 7 off the line of scrimmage. You drop to the sticks in zone. All right. Then you make your play and you make it big. We don't drop our linebackers deep enough. And against a shit team like Virginia Tech, they were throwing that dig 15 yards in the middle all damn game long because the linebackers aren't deep enough. And I don't know why we don't drop our linebackers deep. Our linebackers in zone coverage are worthless. And I don't know how they're coached. And that's the whole thing. How can I hold these guys responsible for pass defense if I don't know what they're being coached to do? Because they're sure as shit when it's 3rd and 17 and they are dropped to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's not deep enough, dude. You got to drop to the sticks, make them throw in front of you, rally, make the tackle, and it's 4th and 3, 4th and 4, and they have to kick a field goal or punt, and you walk off the fucking field.
So you're saying keep everything in front of you. If I've got hook curl, then I need to drop to the sticks, wherever the line to gain is, keep it in front of me, and then put my foot in the ground and make a play on it. If it's a dig, cheat back over toward the middle of the field or whatever. There's not a route.
Yeah. Make the tackle. They're not getting the first down. The whole idea about playing defense is to get the other team off the field in 3 plays.
What?
That's it. Simple.
You know what that's called, Rick?
Is that a 3 and out?
3 and out.
I swear to God, I've never seen one of them.
Yep.
Well, we don't. And there's something just doesn't make fucking sense that what we do on defense. And it makes all these guys look bad. And I understand that you've got to play your backup linebackers. I do. And you've got to work them in. Finally, after bitching at them for 3 games, they stopped putting in the whole second team defense at one time. And might as well just give the other team 7 points and walk off the field and say, oh, thanks, guys. Now, at least, they'll substitute. They'll leave 2 or 44 in and let one of the backups come in. We've got a heavy package now where we run 3 linebackers out. And then they did against Virginia Tech. They had 3 of the lighter linebackers out there at the same time and basically did a sugar rush. And I actually like that to try to hold a running quarterback in. But God knows we never got pressure on the quarterback with that. So I don't see that as an answer. I just see that as a containment type situation.
Gotcha.
But anyway, all right, linebacker grade. I really like 2 and 44. I think they've got talent, and I think that they could get paychecks eventually. But I don't like how they're coached. Can't figure it out, and I don't like the backups at all. I mean, but they got to develop some way. But I don't like them at all, so I give them a 75.
All right, 75. Cdogg.
Yeah, 75 is kind of where I was at too. I'd probably, if I were to grade the defense overall, I'd probably give them a 75, like pure average. You know what I mean? I think Tantor gave enough probably analysis on Georgia Tech linebackers as someone could give. But I think we have an average defense, so that's probably where I'll land. With a weak spot being the D line, so that's probably where I'll land on the rest of these. Just about
75.
Yeah, I love Eford. Like I said, he's great. Maybe not so much in coverage. And Tantor, you didn't mention the brick hands that he has and the what should have been a pick this past weekend.
That's why he's a linebacker.
He's got feet for hands. I know. It was like right there, man. Like, come on.
Cement blocks. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with him because they probably hit like cinder blocks.
Yeah, like cinder blocks, but they're not catching no ball. He's not catching no picks. So, yeah, I think I'll piggyback Tantor with the 75. That's probably might be what I go for the rest of the way. We have an average defense. Sometimes we fold. Sometimes we clutch up. It is what it is. A little bit of bend don't break sometimes. But it is what it is. First year DC Gideon. Hopefully we can. And I don't think he's quite as good as Santucci just yet, but it is his first year being a DC. So I mean, I might be talking overall picture here, but I'm just saying that's probably where I'll go the rest of the way for defense.
I think they're a little better than that. I slightly disagree with Tantor. I think our 2s are a little better than Tantor. Tantor's really high on Trelane Maddox. I'm not so much. I'm really high on Tajay Butler. He's not as high on him. And he's absolutely right about Eford. I am terrified every time Eford's matched up with someone in the slot, with a running back, whatever. He has lost weight. In fact, he ran down drones. Caught him from the back and brought him down. Hell of a play.
He ran down the Wake quarterback and hurt him, and that won us the game too. Besides some help from the refs, but hurting the quarterback for Wake, he's caught 2 guys from behind, and that didn't happen in 2024.
No, he was getting outran, and that's not even embarrassing. If you have a mobile quarterback, I'm not expecting your Mike to be able to run him down from behind. Hell, Eiford's been able to do it, so that's been impressive to me. And you're right, as far as the defense as a whole, it's been bend but don't break. I feel like it's been like that with the linebackers. Yeah, Eiford missed a really bad tackle against a really good running back at Wake against Claiborne. He put a move on him, and then Eiford just ate shit right there while he ran by him. Claiborne's going to do that to a lot of guys, not justifying that. Should have made the tackle, but I think we're a little better than average at linebacker. We'll move on to the defensive backs. I don't know how to grade the defensive backs. I know Tantor doesn't like me putting cornerbacks and safeties together. It is what it is, though.
That they're completely, it's like putting your defensive line and linebackers together.
That's a good idea. I thought about doing that.
Completely different way to play, but they do affect each other.
Yeah.
Me and Rick are offensive guys.
Yeah, when I play college football video game, I don't even play defense. Why would I
simulate
waste my time
defense?
With that? Yeah, even when I'm the head coach, like I'll be Jimbo Fisher or Paul Johnson and call all the offensive players. Let some other idiot worry about the defense, and then like Paul Johnson, if it don't work out on defense, I will
give Paul Johnson CPJ a shout. Yeah. He looked great this weekend.
Yeah,
he did.
He looked great. So keep it up, CPJ. You look great. Fridge, hey man, praying for you.
Yeah, Hugh Freeze, or not Hugh Freeze. What the hell am I talking about? Ralph Friedgen had a boot on his leg. Had a cane.
Broke my heart, man. Broke an old man's heart.
Yeah, I mean that's a guy that has had weight problems probably his whole life. Probably has something to do with his health problems now. But here's the thing. We'll take a second to talk about Friedgen. Me and my dad and the guy we go to the games with were talking about it. And Friedgen was a little bit before me. Like I didn't see a ton of Friedgen, but he was an innovator of offenses. I mean, he was doing things that no one did. He has a formation. It's not named after him, but that Maryland Eye, right, is a Friedgen invention. The dude did some really good things. So him, I think Curry was out there. Paul Johnson was out there. Maybe Tantor can speak to some of these older coaches.
O'Leary was out there.
O'Leary, yeah.
Yeah, they were out there. I heard that, let's see, was it Curry or Ross that was there? And the other one is sick. His health is bad.
Curry was there. I think Ross was not.
And it was Ross that wasn't because he's not doing well.
Yeah.
So it was great seeing those guys there, seeing our successful coaches. It was real good for the AD and everybody to not invite Ass Clown.
Yeah, why would you? It's the Bobby Dodd Coaching Award. Where is Jeff? He's somewhere in my basement. That's where Jeff is. I'll let him out at some point.
But I love seeing him there. I thought it was great with the 90s team being there and having those guys there. That was fantastic. But I really want to say, I mean, Frege, man, it just that's tough seeing how bad shape that he's in. And if anybody that's got some prayers to a higher deity, he needs them.
How old is Ralph Friedgen? Let's see here.
I have no idea.
I'll look it up. Tantor, why don't you talk about the defensive backs and why you love rating them together?
Oh, shit. Come on, dude. I freaking hate rating them together because it's a completely different job. All their job. Each defensive back has a different job, okay?
Each defensive lineman has a different job.
Not really. Defensive line, you got interior and exterior. Exterior, their main job's to hold the edge.
Don't ever disagree with me on my own show again.
And interior. That's why people love us.
Yeah, that is my favorite.
People love it. People love this, right?
Friedgen's 78, by the way. He's older than I thought he was.
Yeah. So, anyway, all right. So, my favorite, the number one guy back there is Powell Lee. He's the straw that stirs the drink. Best player on the defense. Players make plays. He made the play to win Wake Forest. When you need something done, Powley makes the play.
Yep.
Period. End of story. Makes me proud. Just reminds me of great safeties. I like him in the box better than I do back. So I think guy that's really surprised me, most improved, a guy that I really couldn't stand previous years, number 9. I think that he's doing a absolute fantastic job. Yeah, every now and then he screws up, but I think he's tremendous back there. And he really complements Powley fantastically. The problem is they don't play all the snaps. They're only playing about 60% of the snaps, and they're running in guys in there. And then we get tight ends running free down the field, and we can't get our communications right.
Can I ask you something? Why have we not tried? I've wondered why we haven't put Powley at nickel at times.
I have no clue. I don't know why any of them do what they do. I still don't know why. I think it's 23 is starting out there when you have 2 guys behind him that are just monumentally better than him.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, dude. He can't cover. You throw the ball, you play man, it's automatic PI. It's a DPI every time you throw at this guy. You run at him, and he won't come up and make a tackle. He won't hold the edge. He won't do anything. It's like, shit, man. Is he paying you to play him?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And every time he goes out of the game, number 6 comes in and makes a fucking play. Number 6 comes in, boom, makes a big tackle, makes an interception, does whatever, makes plays. Players make plays. Okay? Winners make plays. 6 is a winner. He makes plays when he gets out there. 5's a winner. He makes plays when he's out there. Not some of the other guys, okay?
Tantor feels strongly about this.
It just makes me, the defensive secondary makes me sick. And that last freaking play, because we didn't blow Virginia Tech out, and we get number 3 injured, and I would say his season's probably over.
I would bet money that yes, that's the case.
I heard it wasn't quite as bad as previously thought.
Okay, I mean, I hope you're right.
It looked bad on the field.
It sure did.
It did. I heard somewhere that it might not be. Now, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but that is a huge loss.
Yeah,
He's a top man cover guy in college football. Okay, he's just not used right, but he's a top 1v1 cover in college football, and he's not scared. He makes tackles. He's not really beat. But when we go into our zones, we don't do anything in zone defense right. So our zone defense might be one of the worst ever. And we have to go to zone because we can't cover running backs and tight ends. And then we've got one cornerback that we start and put out there that just can't do shit. And then we've got another one that's a man, 1v1 man guy, and we try to shackle him with his own. And it doesn't work. It's just no bueno. All right? It just sucks. And we don't play the right guys. Our slot guy, I still don't know what the F he was doing against the tight end that we gave up on the 35-yard touchdown pass against the tight end. Nobody was within 30 yards of the guy.
That was the definition of blown coverage.
Yes, exactly. No, that's exactly right. And he just looks over at Daniels and they just shake their head. It's like, no. That's when the coach runs out on the field and starts yelling and screaming at guys like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But it's tough because I really think that 3, 9, and 5 and 6 are top-notch guys. But I just think that somebody like Saban would have those guys as a top secondary in college football. I would think, and this is for the Georgia people, I think somebody that cheats like Kirby Smith or Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smith.
He could be Kirby Smith too.
Kirby Smith.
Is that like the Mormon version of Kirby?
What in the world?
Kirby Smith.
But Kirby
Dum
Smart,
dum 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 dum.
but he would turn them into top NFL draft choices. And I don't know why we can't develop defensive backs. We just can't freaking do it. So I give him a 60.
All right, a 60 for Tantor. Cdogg, you giving him a 75?
Yeah, I don't think they're quite that bad. I mean, like I said, there's positives and negatives, but
You allowed the worst quarterback in the ACC throw for 200 yards on you.
I mentioned it earlier. Like we have we have a way of making bad quarterbacks look good, and they usually have their best game against us. You know what I take into consideration too, though, is that our pass rush is really bad, so that puts more stress on the secondary too. So I give them a little leeway for that as well. But for having a bad pass D, it does fall on them. So I do take it in consideration. I wouldn't give him. Would you give him a 60? I don't know quite about that, but I think I'd probably go 70 actually. So
going 70.
Yeah.
Will you ever start streaming NFL games? Right? No. Why? Why would I do that? I don't care about the NFL. I'm a college football guy through and through.
Maybe watch Jahmyr Gibbs play.
Yeah, I mean, I will.
Which, by the way, why'd you use a picture of me in a Lions hat for the thumbnail?
Because you have you know how hard it is to find a good thumbnail picture of you? Because every video you do, you have the phone right up to your face. So the top part of your head is cut off. I even go on your Twitter. Half of those pictures, you look like some homeless guy with the hair down to your shoulders.
Do you want me to send you some headshots?
Yeah, I would love if you would send me some headshots.
I'll send you my portfolio.
Yeah, could you get on that so we can make better thumbnails
I can get on that.
for the people?
Of course. I've got tons of them.
Let me do a Cdogg video real quick.
I've got tons of them, and they're pings too. I've got pings.
PNGs.
Plug and play, dude. You just drop it right in there. I've got them.
That's good to know.
I'll send them your way. I'll have my people reach out to yours.
All right, that's good, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to give him an 83. I don't really know what I'm talking about with the defensive backs, and I fully admit that. But I interviewed Clayton Powell-Leah's freshman year, and I'm proud of that. So I'm going to give him an 83. That brings our grade to a 71. 71 for the defensive backs here. Oh, we didn't update the linebackers. Hold on one second. I can fix that, guys. We have technology. So 71 for the defensive backs. What do we have for the linebackers? I think we had them at a 77. What does that bring our total defensive score? Drum roll, please, which is probably correct. That brings us to partway to the Devils number, a 66. I want to say what did we have them in our final grade last year? We had a 67 on the defense. So do we feel that we're slightly worse this year on defense than we were last year? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're
absolutely.
Our defensive line is certainly worse. For sure.
Santucci, I think, was better, but like I said, he was more experienced too.
He's going to be available after this season. I think the Ravens are going to fire his ass.
Yeah.
I'll take him right back. That'd be great.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Their defense is awful. Right? The Ravens defense, it's not good.
Santucci turned it around in one offseason from one of the worst defenses to really good one. So, yeah.
He pulled a 1990 Braves, went worst to first on our linebackers there.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the special teams. I'll start with the special teams. I'm very pleased with the special teams. Have we missed a field goal yet?
Yes, this week.
We've missed one field goal.
And I called it.
It was blocked.
It was dumb.
It was a long one, too.
It was long. They had him at the right hash. He pushes the ball, so they had him set up that he had to hook it, and hitting it that far, he was just a little low. As soon as they set him up there, and I went, this sucks. He's going to miss it.
He had too much time to prepare was the problem.
All right. That must have been what people were talking about, no stakes for him. So that, to me, we haven't had too many special teams snafus. Never mind. We wore a dress against Colorado,
which is
somebody's
dumbass idea.
which is not really on the special teams. That's more of an equipment manager issue, but still. Either way, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I give them an 88 when, you can say that there should be 2 games we've lost at minimum if we're not hitting these field goals. So I'm going to give them an 88. Cdogg.
We got to grade the whole special teams at once. That's like grading your quarterback and friggin' receivers together.
What are we gonna do? A 5-hour show? All right. Let's grade lines.
I dead ass need to split this into field goals and punting, because goddamn punting freaking ruins my life every time we freaking punt.
Dude, it should be great. We never have to see Shanahan kick a fucking ball.
I know, but the new guy, he's not any better.
Yes, he is.
He's got pants on his head, dude. I don't care.
What?
He's got pants on his head. Man.
He's booting that thing.
It's kangaroo court. We didn't boot it.
Okay.
Dude, they busted in.
Have we ever pinned a team once this year? Have we pinned a team once this year? Now look, okay, I'm not saying like it's every like single play. We've had some awful punts though. It seriously drives me up the wall.
I can think of one.
And covering punts is a travesty too. We allow returns this year, and punt returns, are bad too.
Did you watch this weekend?
Look, man. Yes. Okay.
He kicked like 70 yards
the
out
Bailey
of his
Stockton
own end zone.
thing was brilliant. the Bailey Stockton thing was great. It was awesome.
Okay, look, have we fumbled one punt return this year?
No. But we've been pinned. We've been pinned at the one. I can't even count how many times.
But that's got nothing to do with our punt return.
And
dude.
How many times?
That's Virginia Tech.
What return though? We don't return punts. We always fair catch it.
What do you want us to do? Field the ball on the 1 yard line?
No. Social media.
What about Bailey Stockton diving? Remember the Clemson game?
Don't do it.
Remember when Clemson in the Clemson game, when Bailey Stockton, for no discernible reason, dives for the hero catch of the punt return for no reason at all?
Yeah, but you seem to forget where we've come from.
There's anybody that remembers where he's come from. It's me, okay?
Evidently not.
I have almost zero tolerance for bullshit on special teams. It should be the first thing that you get done, and it should be no problems. I think our punt return could be better. And sometimes it's great. It was good this past game or whatever. Sometimes we got pants on our heads though. And a lot of the times we got fucking pants on our heads or dresses on our freaking players, or kick return is lackluster too. Kickoff returns lackluster too.
Give them a grade, and then I'll be Mr. Positive. Like I'm really used to that shit.
Look, man, I gotta balance it out there because Aiden Burr is the best freaking kicker in college football. He's amazing. He's got ice in his veins, so it balances out. I'm not freaking stoked on the punt return, although it has been getting better. It was good this past game. That whole Bailey Stockton thing was crazy. I'll give special teams overall an 80. But 80. Some of the crazy stuff, just simply Aiden Burr's carrying special teams, but we've had some boneheaded things going on in special teams, and honestly, 80 might be pushing it. I already said it though, so I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, he also puts every ball in the end zone on kickoff. But go ahead, Tantor.
No, Aiden Burr, no complaints at all. Love that guy.
All right, I can't believe Cdogg.
I know, right? Welcome to my world every day when I call this guy.
I'd have zero tolerance for special teams. Freaking. They got pants on their head. I don't know what else to say.
You keep saying that.
So
yes, that is true.
We wore a dress one game, so we have to take off a point for that.
Yeah, we do.
Wearing a dress on the field is just not going to cut it. We got a field goal blocked. We have to take one off that, and that leaves us with a 98.
Boom.
You've got a kicker that has won a couple games, and it might be the biggest kick since Sesson beat UVA back in 90.
Yeah, it was 1990.
Yeah, so I would say the biggest kick in 35 years. Fantastic. We, knock on wood, let's not jinx ourselves, but we haven't fumbled a kickoff or a punt return this year. We haven't had a punt blocked, and God knows we should have had a couple blocked, but we no longer have to ever look at a rugby kicker or punter from Ireland again, ever.
That's a good thing.
That is a very good thing. We got a field goal kicker that shit, if he's in the stadium, he's going to put one through. I don't have any complaints about it. I think it's been freaking brilliant. We've recovered 3 onside kicks. Shit. It's nothing's negative. We've had some good punt returns when we've put them on, but I'm completely okay with fair catch and punts because our offense is fucking awesome, dude. So let's let Haynes King, Cdogg's man, Superman, he rips off his shirt and there's this big K with a diamond on it. He puts the whole thing on his back and he takes it through. You just want him to get him the ball.
I love starting every drive on the 10-yard line.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when we start the drive. We can start it in the back of the freaking end zone and hang.
Well, maybe if we played the field position game a little better, we wouldn't have such heart attack inducing games. I wouldn't be going gray and watching my fucking Jackets win by 1 point against Wake Forest. 1 point. We barely won that shit. Because we lose the game of field position, we're all starting inside the 10. If you didn't have to go 95 yards, maybe we wouldn't have a broke shoulder, a broke ACL, a broke freaking CTE, and everything else.
Yeah, that's definitely because of the special teams. Haynes King's help.
Look, dude, if you want to improve like Wake Forest games, don't let us smoke a bowl before every game. All right, so that we're not starting in the third quarter.
Yeah,
guys out there eating Twinkies and Taco Bell, chilling at the beginning of the first quarter just doesn't cut it.
It is good, though. All right. Well, that for the second time, no, it'll be a little higher. That brings us to an 89 on our special teams, which, Cdogg's a complete moron, but we end up averaging that out. Pete just subscribed. Appreciate it, Pete. All right. Now let's move on to the staff. First, we were just on the defense. Let's go back to it. Blake Gideon. I'll start. Look. Blake Gideon's got a tough job this year. Blake Gideon's got to deal with a defensive line that has very little depth, that it's not going to be able to get pressure on a quarterback, and basically his defense is going to have to be run from his linebackers to his defensive backs and then down to make up for what we don't have on the defensive line. To me, we've been the definition of bend but don't break. Been a little bit of break in there, though. Been a little bit of break in there, maybe a little bit more than a little bit. But, hey, when we started this season, the defense kept us in that Colorado game. 3 turnovers, 3 points given up. First ever play calling for Blake Gideon. I think you got to give him credit for that. I still got to see some more of it. I guess Duke's going to be a really good test. If we end up getting smoked by Duke, it's probably going to be because our defense falls flat on their faces. I'll just give him a flat 80 for what he's been able to do thus far and move on. Tantor.
I'm going to give him a 75. I can't really add anything to what you just said because it's all 100% true. That's an impossible job. I wouldn't want it because I would look at the players that I had available to start and go like, holy shit, what am I going to do?
Play better zone.
Yeah, and try to figure that shit out. But you got to get some pressure on the quarterback, and that's not happening with 4 guys.
Yeah.
Any 4 guys on our roster. Okay. So I think it's an impossible job. You just lost your best cornerback.
Yeah.
And you're going into play, and we've really played a bunch of shitty teams this year. Okay. And we're going to go face, and, Klubnik, he's supposedly good, but he's having a shit year. Duke's probably the best team on our schedule. And
by far.
Yeah, and they're for real. And this could be a 52-49 game against them, and I believe in our offense, so I think we've got a chance against them by all means. But
Duke has a pretty good defensive-minded coach, though.
Yeah, they are, but I think our offense can score on anybody when they want to. But God, that's a tough job. It's 75 because he's tried new things. I mean, he's put in the 3-3. He's changed up. He's tried man. He's tried zone. He's tried different zones. He that one game he tried a matchup zone that that was trash. So nothing's worked. I mean, nothing works. I honest to God, that's a job that you might want to quit.
Damn.
I would. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Tantor gives him a 75. Cdogg, what do you give our old man Gideon?
Yeah, I agree. I think 75 is fair. Like you gotta think too, he took over, he didn't have a full off season because he came in the spring after freaking midnight Tyler took off in the damn spring.
I think he saw the roster for this year and said, shit, I need another job.
Yeah.
I want to quit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I don't know, man. We need to shell out for some defensive players.
Yes.
We do. It's a big need right now. Like we spent a lot on the skill positions and stuff. But we're looking good on the offense. Like, I don't know, man. The defense definitely isn't exciting, but there's a lot that's not Blake Gideon's fault. And for a first-time defensive coordinator, I think he's doing an all right job. We have an average defense with average players. They're not gonna, if we're in a position where we're like relying on our defense, we might be in trouble this year. Like you said, this Duke game probably might wind up being a shootout. We're gonna have to count on the offense because that should be, and it is, the strength of our team. So, I think 75 is fair. I think the jury might be out a little bit on Blake Gideon, but he's done a decent job so far, I think.
All right, so we got Gideon at a 77. Probably fair for what he's been able to manage with what he has. I can't disagree with that. Let's go to Faulkner now. We'll start with Tantor. What would you grade Faulkner here in his third year?
This dude, he's like Sybil. He's all over the place. He forgets that we can throw the ball until we play Virginia Tech. He forgets we have tight ends. We go and just bludgeon people to death for the first 5 games. Freak knows. I mean, let's put it this way: in the third quarter, when we were deep in our territory and it was 3rd and 3, there were 50,000 people there that knew it was going to be a quarterback draw.
Yeah,
and it didn't work. But it's like, dude, you are so freaking predictable. Stop. I mean, the other team's coaching staff watches film. They know what you're going to do when you're going to do it. So mix it up some. But on the other hand, we got a top 10 rushing attack. Our offense, I think our offense is top 30 as far as numbers go. Is that right?
Top 20. We were 18th before Virginia Tech. I haven't looked lately.
So, I can't, if I say the guy sucks, numbers say he doesn't. All right.
And offers.
And then we look at our record, and really and truly the offense in the second half, we've been behind. And we've given Haynes King and Faulkner a sack of shit and said, hey, save us. Here's a sack of shit. Save us. It's 4th quarter. We're dying. And they do it. It's just that he could be better. I give him a 90.
That surprises me. All right. I'll go next just because that's the exact same score I had for him. I think Buster Faulkner's really good. I think as Tech fans, we're looking at things so closely. We can't kind of step back and see the big picture. I think Buster Faulkner is one of the best coordinators in the country. I think he's paid. His pay tells you that. The offers that he's gotten says that. Likely to be his last year at Georgia Tech. We probably will have to pony up more money to keep him. We're
going to lose our quarterback coach too, because there's a certain school in Florida that's wanting him badly.
That's not good. If we lost both of them, then I don't know who will be our OC.
And that comes from the inside, folks. So,
oh shit,
I know,
man, I've been laughing at Florida State, and
I'm surprised we retain them both this long, honestly.
Yeah, they want Winky. Winky has offers now.
Winky, I'm surprised. Like, he's been under the radar. I've always been saying if Penn State knew what they were doing, they would get Winky.
Is our OC?
I think the guy can coach a quarterback, man. He can coach a quarterback.
Yeah. That would be like a triple whammy because we might lose Philo too. If you lost Buster and your quarterback,
no, you give him a bag.
Yeah,
you don't lose Philo. You give him a bag. Hand him a bag.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pretty tight at the hip with Winky.
With Winky and Buster.
Man,
I have a feeling, what starting quarterback for top 20 program now is running about $3 million.
Yeah,
I think if we hand him $3 big, he stays. That buys a lot in Atlanta.
Yeah, it does. That does. That'd be way more than what we're probably paying King too.
Yep.
But yeah, I give him a 90. I think Buster's great. I think he's going to go on, and I think he's going to do really good things. Who haven't we been to? Cdogg.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think that a lot of people are really, really tough on Buster, which I don't really get. I'm not questioning his play calling. He's got the bag of tricks. He's one of the best coordinators in the whatever. Yes, it does seem like we've invested so much in the offense. Like we have, like you just name off the receivers, name off the freaking running backs. We got deep running backs, and we've got Haynes King, who's obviously whatever. And a lot of people will criticize like Tantor a minute ago, talking about everybody knew what he was doing on third down, but it's like, I mean, they were also showing the stat that nobody had ever stopped it until this past week on 3rd and 3. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what I say. You know what I mean? If you've never been stopped up until that point running Haynes King on 3rd and short,
how about you?
Why not send it?
Hit a tight end on 3rd.
That's your high. No, I agree. No, I love the sneaky.
We did that on the next play.
Yep, we did.
And by the way, real quick, what a ballsy call, because that was a naked boot. Had they had any pressure coming from the opposite side, he would have got stuck right into the ground, and it worked. But go ahead, Cito.
I don't get the criticism a lot for Buster. Like, is the play calling like, okay, maybe he calls a screen, but one too many times. Like, who among us doesn't call a screen every once or twice on 3rd and 17?
20 times a game.
20 times a game, right?
Well, to be fair, every team does that in college football.
Every team does it. Everybody does it.
That's true. That tunnel screen. And,
I say this.
South Florida does it, and they've got this guy that's like 5'5", 125 pounds that runs like a 4.140. And when they get him that ball in that tunnel screen, that little bastard's gone.
4-1? Is it prime Deion Sanders? I got.
Watch South Florida, man. They got that little guy, and he can fly.
He must be a track guy then.
Shit, I don't know. He's fast.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, like, usually we block it well. We have the tight ends, we have good blocking receivers. Like, it looks dumb as hell when you throw a screen and nobody blocks for it. But, a lot of the times it's worked out great for us. So, and I've been saying this too. Anytime Georgia throws a screen, you need to search Mike Bobo on Twitter. If you want a good laugh, look up Mike Bobo on Twitter. That, like, during the Alabama game and during the Auburn game was some of the funniest entertainment you'll find.
Oh, they hate it. They think he's the problem to not only in Georgia football, he's every problem in the world. It's somehow Mike Bobo's problem.
Yeah, it's
really funny. He's not our problem.
Not our problem. Yeah,
I don't think
really
he's
funny.
a problem,
and Buster's way better. And look,
we got the best Georgia guy. Buster from.
And if Georgia calls, I think Buster would leave in a heartbeat. Honestly, for Georgia. Thankfully, they don't know what they're doing, and they continue to roll a Bobo.
He's not going to go there for an OC. Come on.
You don't think so?
I think he'd have a head coach job over that.
Okay, maybe over a head coach's job. Anyway, Buster's a hot commodity.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Buster fan. I'm happy we've had him this long. I'm shocked we've had him this long. Winky too, while we're at it. Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I think a 90 is a good spot for Buster.
All right, we all got him at 90s. Let's keep on trucking. Let's talk about the big man, the man that walks in the room as Dick's been there for 10 minutes. Brent Key. Tantor, what can you tell us about Brent Key? Will you grade him?
Damn, this team is him.
Yep.
It is him. When he walks out and he's chill, like he was against Wake Forest, they play chill and they suck. When he gets pissed off and he's going to rip an official's head off, like it's Vatech, they put 4 quarters together and have the best game they have and just kill people. They put people on their ass. When I hear him in interviews and he says, "I'm trying to be more calm," fuck that dude.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I will say this. Apparently, word on the street, what I heard was during the Wake Forest game at halftime, it was a calm halftime. He didn't freak out, carry on, or whatever. He said, "Okay, take a breath. We got to reset. We got to get our head out of our ass and get out there and play." And we did.
Did you just say word on the street? That's what he said he did.
Yeah,
yeah. That's word. This is what I've been hearing. That's what I say when I forget where I heard something.
I want the Brent Key that walks over in the third quarter, takes a towel, rips it out of his DC's hands, hits him with it, and fires his ass on the sideline.
Yeah.
That's the guy I want.
Then fires his replacement in the same year.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. No, he's 100. Yes. That's the guy I want. I want the Brent Key that snorts a pound of coke before every game and goes out there, blows shit up, yells, screams, goes nuts. He's got people tackling him while he tries to go out rip the heads off of officials. That's the guy I want. I don't want the Brent Key that smokes a bowl before Wake or shows up in Birmingham thinking that he's a made man and we just screw the pooch. All right. And then he goes nuts and just loses his shit like the rest of us in Birmingham in the rain. But the team follows him. They take on his personality. And damn, in a fight, when he's pissed, he's going to win. He's going to win 10 out of 10 fights when he's pissed. And that's the Brent Key I want.
Yeah.
We've seen that 5 games this season. And we're pretty damn good when he does it. So he stayed like that. I give him a 95. He's recruited the right players. He's paid the right guys. He's stayed pissed off enough to win against everybody they put against him. I know people come and they say, "Hey, you haven't beaten anybody any good." Who gives a shit? He beat everybody that were playing.
There you go. Cdogg, what do you give the big man?
So, I mean, what can I say about Brent Key? He's completely turned the program around. Talk about remember where we came from.
Hey, look, we had 50,000 people this past weekend against Virginia Tech. Remember just 4 years ago, it was Tantor looking up at the far south end zone of the stadium with 1,500 people there with Cdogg trying to climb over the top and go over and do a nosedive when we're getting our ass kicked by Bowling Green. Am I right?
Oh my God!
These people don't deserve to hear this, man. I had to come up here. That's a haul too, man. It's like hiking Everest.
It is
very true.
Everybody knew Cdogg was up there because there was only 1,500 of us there.
Yeah, we didn't see your fat ass up there.
Up at the end, it was like my son saying, "Dad, you got to go say Cdogg. He's going over." And I was like, "Damn, Cdogg, don't do this, man. Don't do this. I know it's Bowling Green. I want to do it too, but just don't do it. Come down off the ledge, Cdogg."
Yeah.
And he has taken us there to 50,000 people, standing room only, making the place louder than hell, and we kick ass. There you go.
I couldn't have said it better than Tantor. I mean, and look, yeah, that was probably the worst loss ever. Like, that's -5 points right there for the loss. But look, like, you couldn't have done much better. And look, I never thought we'd be where we are this fast after Jeff Collins. I thought it would be a slow, like, I'm patient, I mean, as long as we were like making bowls, I could have stomached that for a few years. But to be sitting here in year 3 undefeated, 6-0. Uh, it's crazy. And I was worried about Key, like the mental thing, like, oh God, we can't play consistently week to week. It appears so far this year that we are more consistent, at least enough to win the games. Might be heart attack, cardiac jackets, but we're here, and it's been fast. This has been a fast turnaround, and a lot of teams are jealous. A lot of teams want him. Even goddamn Penn State, even though it makes no sense,
They don't
want him.
They don't.
They don't want him.
No.
Florida wants him bad. Any
Maybe.
team that's garbage wants him. That's what we were. We were garbage under Jeff Collins. Worst coach in our history of our program.
He might be the worst coach in the history of college football.
Now we're talking.
Ooh, we'd have to. Yeah,
we all know that guy's an ass clown. I mean,
yeah.
God Almighty, he was bad.
And to take that, what can I say? To take that, and year 3 were 6-0, bowl eligible already, dude. I remember we were sitting there celebrating making a bowl just a few years ago. He brought us to our first bowl since 2017 or whatever it was.
We had to beat Syracuse, and they didn't have a quarterback, and we barely beat them.
Yeah, they played a tight end at quarterback, and damn, Lynn was lost.
The first year was so sketchy. It was so sketchy. But, I mean, it was just as much a roller coaster. Like, yes, we have the Bowling Green loss. Then you have one of the most insane freaking wins ever against Miami the very next week. Like, we turned around and beat them in the most insane way the next week. It's crazy. I'm right there with you, 95. Take off 5 points for that goddamn Bowling Green loss. That just like that game took 5 years off my life. I'm going to
jump off the back. It's like that guy yelling, "No, Cdogg, don't do it."
It's not worth it.
But Brent Key is my hero. I can't decide whether to name my kid Brent Key that I'm about to have or Haynes King. I can't decide. Might be Brent Morgan King. Or Brent King Morgan. Something like that.
This kid's gonna have like 40 first names.
Megatron. I gotta slip Megatron in there somehow. So I don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah, Brent Key is him, as well as Haynes King. God, I love those two so much. I love the Yellow Jacket football. Brent Key has made Georgia Tech football fun again quickly. So I couldn't be more appreciative.
I love it. So a 95. He's made it great again. Brought it right back from the bank. Jeff Collins, you're a loser. You're a loser. Yeah, I mean, look, you're right. From where we've been, and I don't care who it makes mad. Like Jeff Collins, it was literally someone who was retarded that was coaching football. Literally. The guy, I mean, the pool noodles, playing slap nuts, getting pissed off, tweeting Philly shit. It's not just that he's
jacked though, man. He really hit the weights on the sidelines too, man. He was jacked.
Him and his players, as to hey, let's lift till muscle exhaustion before we play Clemson when they have Trevor Lawrence. Real genius stuff.
Many teams do that. None.
Yeah. Only time I've ever seen that in the history of college football. Obviously, the guys don't like each other. And I've told you this, Cdogg, I've said it on the channel. I looked at my dad and the guy we go to games with, and he said, one day we're going to look back at this and laugh. And we're here. We're there. We never thought, and you're right, we didn't think it would be so quickly. And we had stumbles along the way, like with Bowling Green. Not only did Cdogg during Bowling Green go up to the top of the north end zone and almost jump off, I got in the worst fight I've ever gotten into with my ex-wife. On the way out of that game, she didn't understand the situation, and I had to tell her real quick that I'm not to be made fun of right now. She got so mad at me, she hung up on me, called me back to then hang up on me a second time. So that, yeah.
Brent Haynes, Megatron, Nesbitt, Demarius, JT, Dwyer, Morgan.
Appreciate the $5 from Nerdstop. Says Brent Haynes, Megatron, Nesbitt, Damaris, JT, Dwyer, Morgan. There you go. Wow. Yeah. That was so, you guys know I love to hate, right? And that hanging up on someone to call them back and hang up on them a second time, I was no longer mad. It made me laugh. That's freaking hilarious that she did that. But yeah, Key has taken Georgia Tech into the national spotlight. Now, like, am I saying they're one of the best teams in the country? No, I'm not necessarily saying that. But they're a team that people are talking about. most people who are college football fans, if not most, know who Haynes King is. We didn't have anything remotely like that. You know
how much it's changed? Sports Illustrated actually covers Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
That is something.
We're getting a lot of attention from a lot of places that never cared about us.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It used to be just 5 years ago, only these 3 people here were talking about Georgia Tech.
That's true.
That's right.
And we were getting trolled endlessly, more so than we do today.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I see Mike Norvell in the chat. Brent Key's an infinitely better coach than Mike Norvell. Brent Key has embarrassing losses. You know what he doesn't do? Spiral, stick his head up his own ass and then spiral and rip off 3 consecutive losses. That's what Mike Norvell does. We bounce back, you're right, and beat Miami. Now, my criticisms of Brent Key would be, we love the emotional side of him. He goes and rips into people, but then sometimes he will spiral in the context of a game, like at Vanderbilt. He still, we should have got beat by Wake Forest.
Yes.
What would we be grading him had, that call have been called and we lost to Wake Forest? Probably under 90. So I'm going to give him a 90. I think he's done almost as good as you can expect a guy to do with what he inherited and what he's been able to build it up. I think there's still 10%. Let's get over the hump. Now, if he goes and he beats Duke handedly or something, I'd call him a 95. I'd say, yeah, he's probably one of the best, if not the best coach in the ACC. So I'll give him a flat 90 here. That brings his grade to a 93. Go ahead.
I want to say something too. He's not going anywhere. I love the people that are like outside the program. We got all this attention on us now, and everybody knows Brent Key's a great coach. We have national attention.
He was on the radio today, and he could have put a stomp on that because he was asked, and he would not do it.
He would not do it.
Oh
no,
what?
He said he would take any type of news. He would listen, and he would talk to his players and have real conversations with them. But he did not say that he would not.
Now look, is that not just a move to get more money? Come on.
He's gonna get more money.
He's gonna get more money.
If you're the AD, if you're a new AD here, and let's say we do what we're supposed to do. Let's say we go 10-2 this year and go to the playoffs. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's what we should do. And I'm throwing in a loss to those SOBs in Athens, and I'm throwing in a loss in the championship game. So it'd be 11-2. And we still would sneak into the playoffs. If you don't hand him a bag of money and his assistants a bag of money, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, you should be positioned to do that. He's criminally underpaid after getting a raise.
Yeah.
Look, we sold out. All right, a sellout's worth what? $5 million?
Yeah, I don't know what the average ticket price, probably around $40, something like that.
It's gotta be more than that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good gauge on it. If you say 100, yeah, that'd be $5 million.
So, well, I'm talking about because they've got concessions, everything, concessions, parking, whatever. You're looking at probably $5 million. You think that's on the low side, conservative?
I think that's low. Yeah, I think that's probably low.
But that wasn't happening before. Let's go back to Bowling Green. If they made $1 million out of Bowling Green, I'm shocked.
Well,
no, they did.
That wasn't happening under Paul either. When we were having successful teams,
it wasn't. We had 26,000 people there with CPJ.
Yeah.
We had to bring in UGA or Notre Dame or somebody to sell out. We sold out with Virginia Tech. Right? So who are you going to give recognition to that? The AD doesn't get that. The president doesn't get that. That's the coach and the players for getting the job done.
I couldn't agree more. So that brings us to an 87 for the staff, which is probably fair. The final grade we'll give, and it's hard to grade this in the context of a season like midterm grades. I would have weighted this much higher if we were talking about like total program outlook. But I wanted to loop Alpert and Cabrera in together. It's hard to give a grade to Alpert, right? He's only been here for a few months now. Now, it is a little hilarious. Michigan State kind of doo-doo right now, but, just saying. Now, I did talk about, when I was in the club this year, I did meet Alpert, and just the difference of, look, when you're in the clubs, like they'll bring the basketball coach by, they'll bring the AD by, they'll bring the baseball coach by. When Bat came in, not super personable, a little bit distant, kind of had his handler direct him to whoever, hey, that guy did this, go talk to him. Alpert, very, very personable, went and sat with people in the clubs, had conversations with people. Now, is that the end-all be-all of an AD? No. The end-all be-all is his ability to raise money. Now, I like that Alpert came from Tennessee. I like that he came from an SEC school that knows how to handle money. So I'm really going to tailor this toward Cabrera. I think Cabrera's done fantastic since he's fired his last AD and Jeff Collins. I think he's done a really good job. We haven't seen this kind of commitment toward football before. And part of that lays on Cabrera, right? He hired Jay Batt that started turning the wheels. Like, Cabrera kind of got his head out of his ass and saw the way college football was going and did what he needed to do. So I'm going to give a flat, not a flat. I'll give an 83 to Albert and Cabrera right now. And most of that's just because I got to see Cabrera, what he's going to do in the next year or two. We'll go to Tantor.
All right. I'm going to give him a little bit higher than that. You're 100% on your line of thought and everything. Administration forever hated athletics at Tech.
Yep.
All right. Matter of fact, they did all they could to diminish athletics at Tech. They finally, I guess, Cabrera, I don't know. I've never talked to the man, so I don't know. But SEC schools have realized it. The biggest marketing that a school can do is your athletic program. And your number one sport is football. Take a look at how people in our own state, Georgia is now getting more applicants than anybody.
Yes.
Because of their football program. And let's just say 20 years ago, Georgia wasn't really considered a prime target for people to go to school there. It is now. And that's because of their marketing program of their football and sports programs. It is your marketing arm. When that is successful, you're going to have plenty of people apply. You're going to get all those application fees. And you're going to have your pick of students coming in there. And thus, your ratings and everything else are going to go up. It's good for the school.
I mean, just look at Georgia. Used to be a school for the deaf, dumb, and blind.
Yep.
But
they're tough to get into now.
Yeah.
UGA is academically. I mean, I'll give them that.
But and Cabrera has done everything there. I mean, Bat was a good start. Look at everything they've done. I mean, they're building all the buildings that they're building for athletics. They're going to be completely redoing the stadium. And that's what I'm worried about. It's like, okay, where the hell am I going to be sitting? But the stadium needs improvement
Desperately.
Yeah,
and they are improving.
You get chairbacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Excited for that.
So all of that needs to be done, okay? And they're doing it. And you have to have money to do it. They've raised it. They're selling out now. I can't really say anything negative about administration because they've done what they're supposed to have done. They've put money in it. They're using NIL. They're getting athletes into the school that normally, 5 years ago wouldn't get in. So I definitely think that I'm not really thrilled about the basketball program, but and I'll ding them for that, but I give them a 97.
Giving them a 97 real quick. This is what I don't understand about Georgia fans is they pick losing arguments. So, like, I love you, BDB, but I don't know where you're pulling, like, in 2005. I guess you're trying to say that Georgia and Georgia Tech were about the same academically. That's just flat stupid. I don't know where you're pulling that from. I don't know if you're comparing Georgia's physics program to Georgia Tech's physics program. Why would you ever try and make that argument? If I was you, I would just say, we went back-to-back national titles, whatever. Why you would try and take an academic side back in 2005 is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, though. Go ahead, Cdogg.
We're going to compare the phys ed degree from UGA in 2005 to the phys ed program at Georgia Tech. Oh, wait, they didn't have one at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I don't know.
General studies degree that you could get from UGA back in 2005 to the general studies program you could get from Georgia Tech. Oh, wait, Georgia Tech didn't have a general studies program.
Yeah, we don't have dumbass degrees.
Bingo.
Go ahead, Cdogg. You talk about Alpert Cabrera here. How would you rate them?
Yeah, I would. I think I'm more leaning on the side of Tantor. I think a 95 is where I'm at with those guys. Like, years and years, it was like no freaking investment into the football program, and now all of a sudden, I guess Cabrera cares about it. I mean, he meant it when he hired Jay Batt, and I said when Ryan Halpert was hired that I hope he follows in Jay Batt's footsteps with the fundraising and whatever, and he has. And not only that, but he's taken a step further, kind of getting more in touch with the fans, putting out the polls to kind of take everybody's.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's good for them. I don't want to forget about the polls and basically asking season ticket holders what they think and things like that, and the contributors and the donors. That's very good.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That because then I get to give them my my solicited opinion. Usually I'm on here giving my unsolicited opinion, but they solicit my opinion. I love that shit. So I'm stoked on Ryan Alpert so far. I think he's doing a great job fundraising. Look, everyone hates it. Everyone hates it playing in the bins. I know it sucks. It sucks that we got to play Georgia there this year. We should be playing them at Bobby Dodd and beating them for the first time at home this century and rushing the field, tearing down the goalposts, and me jumping in the pool and run from the cops again. And it sucks that it happens to be this year, but it's also the sacrifice that you have to make. I'll go on this soapbox every time. I've gone on it several times, really. So I won't do the whole soapbox again, but it's these sacrifices you have to make. Hyundai Field being called Hyundai Field, games at the Mercedes-Benz stadiums. And a lot of the fans are going to tell you, no. They're going to respond to his polls. Please don't do the games at the Mercedes-Benz. We hate it. Look, I hate it too. Cdogg hates it too. I'd rather play every freaking game at Bobby Dodd. Yes, I love the freaking Bobby Dodd Stadium. I want to play the games there. You have to make sacrifices to make money. What's the criticism been of Georgia Tech for years and years and years? We don't take football seriously. We don't invest in the football program. This is what it looks like, especially since we're in as deep as a hole we're in. We're one of the most indebted programs in the country, or at least we were a few years ago. I haven't checked up on our debt here in a couple of years, but this is the type of sacrifices and tough decisions you need to make as an AD and as a president to become competitive in football, to pay players NIL, rev share, coaching staff, la. We got all these players. Yes, we want to keep tradition. We want to be called Historic Grant Field. We want to play the games at Bobby Dodd. But guess what? You make all this freaking money playing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and selling out to evil corporate sponsorships. But guess what? You get players on the field. I made this comparison before. Would you rather play the game against Tennessee in Bobby Dodd Stadium, or would you rather retain Isaiah Canyon? Choice is pretty simple to me. I think making money, generating it for the football program is of utmost importance. Winning is the utmost importance. So especially with the hole that we're in, we need to be generating revenue. And from what it seems, J-Bat did that, and from what it seems, Ryan Alpert is following in those footsteps. So that's my Cliff Notes version of my soapbox that I've gone on.
I like it. So that brings us to a 92 on the Alpert Cabrera thing, and now we have a final grade for the team. We've been on here a while. Appreciate the $2 from BDB.
This is for mustache wax and Magnum Pie shorts.
Appreciate it. I don't need mustache wax. I have King's Ransom, sir. Okay, King's Ransom is what keeps this beard, this mustache looking like it does. In fact, who's the guy Tom Selleck called the other day, guys? He's been watching the channel, and he said, man, Thanks for carrying on the legacy of my mustache. And I was like, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Magnum PI for the win. All right. So the team grade, drum roll, please. I don't even have, oh yeah, I have it up here. Let me click here. Brings us to an 82. How are we feeling about that? We got an 82 overall. Now, obviously, a big part of that is weighted toward our defensive line and defense, but that's probably fair. I mean, we've got some deficiencies on defense that are probably going to lose us some games going out here to the back half of the season. Let me ask you this. We'll go around. If you just, set aside everything we just said, if you were going to give Georgia Tech, the team, a grade on a 1 to 100, what would you have given them, Tantor?
I'm giving them an 80.
You would have given them lower than that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the defense really isn't. It's to say they're average is generous.
Yeah.
As far as their defense goes, their offense is well above average.
Yeah.
I mean, if we've established they got a top 20 offense in the country, but their defense is a bottom 20 defense, really and truly, in my opinion. So that really drags the team down. The defense is going to lose us some games, guys, and I hate to say that. The offense is really going to have to put it on their backs, but we got Super King out there, and he's got his cape and he's got his bulletproof uniform, and he can fly and he can carry 22 players across the line at the end of the game, and I'm okay with that. And he can do it every game and win it, and then turn around and say "fuck you, Tantor," and I'm cool.
Yeah. Cdogg, what do you think? Good.
I tend to be closer to 90, maybe like 87 or something like that. We definitely have weaknesses. Look, we might be a little fraudulent. We might be a little fraudulent. I think having us ranked at the top 10 is a bit crazy.
We're not. We're 12th.
Well, I'm not talking about AP because that poll is an absolute joke. They've been exposed this year.
That is true. We would be better voters for the AP than most of the people that actually vote on it.
Anybody, any fan poll, anybody else you ask, they have Georgia Tech in the top 10. Do I think maybe have we earned it? Maybe because we, are undefeated, but do I think we're one of the 10 best teams in the country? I'm not so sure. I think we're right on the fringes of it. I think we're good. But here's the thing. We are playing pretty consistently, not perfectly consistently like we would like to be. We're still screwing around, almost lost to Wake. Like we got lucky there. But I do think that there is a difference here between, the roller coaster, obviously, that could have been the, Brent Key's first and second years here. Like we were inconsistent. Like we couldn't win as favorites. We're doing that this year. I'm shocked that we freaking won comfortably against Virginia Tech. Like maybe we screwed around with them a little too much, but I do think there is something to be said. Cause you also, yes, maybe we're a little fraudulent, but you also don't win 6 games, by being a bad team. Like we're clearly much improved, and yes, we might be helped by our schedule a little bit. But any given day, like I think we could play with any of the best teams in the country, and that's no different from the past 2 years. Like look, we if we can make it to the ACC championship, that's one game we got to play. We could totally beat Miami. They were 9-0 when they come up in our building last year. We could totally beat them. Week to week, if we had a harder schedule, the record might not reflect it, but it happens to this year, I think, just because it's a little bit easier. But I'd probably go, 87, 88, something like that, if I had to give an overall grade.
Yeah, I mean, I think 82 is about right for me. Now, if we go and we get handled by Duke, I'll be like, yeah, maybe a tad less. That's probably right. If we go handle Duke, then I'll be like, yep, we're probably an 85 to 88 in that range. But we'll have to see. But that's our ratings. I'll give it to you one last time here. We do this twice a year. Got the team rated at 82. Falcons 30-yard field goal attempt was blocked. Yeah, why would I want to watch that, sir? The two teams that I've followed this year undefeated, BYU and Georgia Tech. Mojo becomes a member again. A little down on the D for my taste. We've allowed more than 24 points once this year at Tantor. Talking to you, pointing fingers gets us nowhere. Okay, room for improvement, but they are a B plus at least. All right.
Yeah, they haven't lost it. They haven't lost us a game yet. But just because they haven't, I mean, we're underdogs, I think, for a reason to Duke. I think that's for a reason. Now, we just happen to play really good as underdogs. So, but go ahead, Tantor.
Key can get us up to play good teams. All right. I like our chances against UGA, and I like our chances if we play Miami in the championship game. All right. I like both those games. I hate our chances at Duke, and I hate our chances when Pitt comes to town, because those are real teams that we are expected to beat, and those are the teams that Key can't get us up for. Our defense is not that good. Period. It's not. And there's nothing you can't put lipstick on that pig and make it look prettier. It's not. And it's not. We've got a couple players that make plays, but that's about it. And we haven't played a good offense that has challenged them yet. And damn if they're not going to get one this weekend. So we'll see.
Well, I like it. Well, if there's one thing, I don't care who you root for in here, we can all agree on. Florida State is dog shit, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So appreciate y'all coming in. Appreciate everyone for the super chats. Appreciate Cdogg and Tantor for coming on. Cdogg, you got anything coming up people need to know about?
Just content. Look out for that. Maybe I'll shit on the dogs more. I had a lot of fun doing that today. We're going to beat them, by the way. We're beating them 100% this year. Dogs suck. We're going to win that game.
We're a better team than them, actually.
Yeah, they seem to think like they're not scared of us. I don't think they're smart enough to be scared of us. I don't think they see what's happening. But yeah, we're straight up the best team in Georgia.
The talent level has evened.
The gap is not as great as it used to be, right? So no, and the coaching is quite lopsided nowadays. So they're gonna find out. They don't know what's coming to them. They really don't.
All I say when I ride MARTA and you hear the barking, it's like, we got something for you this year. You just wait.
Yeah, they don't know. They're not smart enough to know.
After Thanksgiving, we got something. Don't worry about it.
They just don't. They don't get it. They just can't. They're too damn stupid. So yeah, maybe I'll make some more content shitting on them because they deserve it. They're awful. And also maybe some buzzsaw content and some exciting stuff. Hopefully I can get this out before my kid's born this year. So yeah.
Sounds good. That's a good place to end it. Give a little clap here, a little Kirby clap here. Appreciate everyone for a good show. Give the Kirby clap. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Y'all have a good night.